Dhul-qarnain, God says Quran. Dhul-qarnain, while he was traveling, the view is if he find the view. He said God saying God is coming. God is saying the human being. The view. He perceived the view of the sun as if it was going on into a muddy water.
What does it say?
So the verse, if it's 18,
It says view.
yeah.
Alright, it's 18 verse because you ever heard of a site called I think it's
He find it setting into a muddy water. But he's talking about the view. I don't know if he was here earlier when a Muslim come and says, Jesus says, don't take a cup to spread peace. I came with a sword to tell me, man. I said, no, don't do that. That is metaphorical sword right there. That is a context which I understand and I agree with. I said, you know, I'm a Christian. Get some ill treatment from the pagan family because they become Christian. Same thing, you know, many Muslims get kicked out of the house because they became Muslim. He's talking in that context. Separate a man from his, he's talking in that context. You know, when people have to leave the partner because they become on a different way of life. He's talking that kind of separation. As a performative arts will make a same statement like that. He says that this is the religion that separates the family. Remember, the religion promotes family tie, you know. And then one and you think, wait, there's a contradiction. He says, Allah love those who promote family tie. But he's telling another narration that this religion that separates family. So what is he's talking about something different here. This was the individual, don't do a call spade a spade. When just said that in Matthew about, till I come to spread peace, I came with a sword, I came to that's a metaphorical sword he's talking right now. But if you want to know about another place to talk about a literal sword, I can give you another place to talk about a literal sword, don't worry. But that right there, don't use that one against. Because that's to be fair. No, when I'm saying to you, God is talking about the human being. When you arrive at the sun, he finds, meaning his vision, his view find it.
found, yeah.
Yes, his view find the thing there. The sun. Because he just came in that region. On his journey, he didn't see the sunset. When he reached in the region, the sunset simultaneously as reaching the region, the sunset at that time. So you just came up to a new place. You came up to a new place here. You came up to a new place here. You came up to a new place here.
And us,
whatever sightseeing is there in that new place, is that you just find it there. You just find that sightseeing because we're new to you. You just came there.
What verse is it?
18.
18, no verse.
To the life of
Chapter
Jesus.
18.
Yes. He says he found it setting.
Our spiritual.
And obviously it's talking about Dhul-qarnain walking on earth.
Yeah.
So come on, people just want to make mischief and they want to be. They don't want to be fear in what they analyze. He's talking about the man walking on earth. It doesn't mean literally the man go pick up a sun because we know that's a no-no. Go pick up a sun and find sun. You can't even go close to the sun. That's a no-no. So he's talking about clearly the man vision. The vision. Like when I'm in Jamaica, I'm going over a bridge sometime and you watch and there's a water there and the sun is sunset time. Don't view as if the sun is going on in the water.
We are worshiping one.
That's what he's talking about. That's the view. That's the vision that he the sight that he found. The sight scene. Yeah. Listen.
The Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. You see, in the book of the
I can't remember what verse it was.
we will have a new covenant. A new covenant. And this covenant is the covenant of Jesus Christ.
Are we on 18?
Jesus Christ was professed was professed by the
If we go to 18, I think
prophet in the Old Testament.
let's go somewhere. If we go on 18, if we find it, go on the page, I could just scroll back.
It's
It doesn't. It doesn't.
you see, that's 18, but I don't know which.
You see, in Psalm, it says David down the Lord.
Can I get the right actual Quran right?
Well, it's
My Lord to sit. So the Lord, he said, the Lord, when he said Lord, God, David, prophet David said, the Lord,
Yeah, it should be something because
before Jesus
was
was the king.
no, this is all the same verse.
He's a man
This is the website where it gives you the meaning of.
Oh, it's the same
He
verse.
says,
Yeah,
Lord,
in different translations.
now the Lord said to my Lord, sit at God say to the Lord of David. Yes. So basically, I'm telling you about the Father and Son. This is Jesus, exactly this is Jesus. But the David, being by the Holy Spirit, he says in the Old Testament, God is telling him. He having a vision. He says, God says, the Lord said to my Lord, now sit at my right hand until I made all your enemies even in the book of Daniel, he was a prophet. David was the son. He talks about the Christ. He said many of the prophets in the Old Testament talked about the Christ. Jesus will come. All the Jews were waiting for him. And when he came, there was a word in the Bible, in the Old Testament, says there will be a
before it says Dhul-qarnain, we find something in it.
Make his way, prepare his way. And John the Baptist came and fulfilled the same.
But if you keep it from first world, remember let's talk about that sun. It came to the rise of the sun.
Yeah.
So how come it's coming to the same sun, innit? So what come people never says okay then? The literal thing we want to say that why people never says okay then? You find the sun rising. Why they don't come at that? It's about the same sun he's talking about.
Now the Lord said,
because you actually talk about the rise of the sun first now. Before talk about the same setting of the same sun. So why don't I have a problem with the first one when the rise of the sun? So you know what I'm saying? This is why we want to make sure that sincere in the analysis.
To Jesus, they're saying, the Lord said to the Lord, sit in my right hand. So is the Lord, you see, is the same type of machine, the same type, is Lord, but also is Lord. Say to my Lord, my Lord, sit on my right.
It's not
So
no, you do it horizontal.
Jesus in the Bible said when he ascended, that's what he said. Jesus already he already talked to him in Moses. There is a one who is written, repent, for he will come. And he was telling about the authority he has. So Jesus, when he came to him, John rebuked him, saying, no, I'm the one who should come to you to baptize him, not me. But he said to him,
I don't think it's a link.
So he said, the scripture, everything the prophets spoke need to be fulfilled. That's why he allowed John to baptize him. And when he came out of the water, and God spoke in heaven, he said, this is my son. So there was a testimony in it, the session of the Spirit of God in the form of the Holy Spirit came to the river, and he went to the river. That's where the devil tempted. So we have, there is a coherence in this story of Christianity from the old prophet to what we came to. So we have no, there's no confusion in that. Even the Old Testament is talking
No, that's interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. See, this is the problem. See, don't get this problem.
Daniel, the book of Daniel 7, 14. Yes. Daniel has a celebration. He's the one that the Son of Man allowed. You understand? He was taking back just David. Also, Daniel,
I want to believe necessarily.
Just giving you
Necessarily proper Jews.
yes, the Jew, they have roots, they have a plan, because that's the whole beginning.
Assalamualaikum, how are you?
Islam today, okay, brother.
Yeah, good.
Sorry, okay.
The evidence like that, the proof are there.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, yes, yeah.
Oh, it's very consistent. You have to follow the purpose right of the school. They didn't know that. The confusion is when people say, oh, it's one word. There is a purpose in the school. We used to look at the kingdom, the son of Jesus Christ. Because we allow this one coming and challenging about he will see the truth.
So you fall away, that's what I'm about following it. That's it.
That's why he came to
Until when he reached the setting of the sun.
for this reason.
He found it as if setting in a spring of dark water.
He's going to establish
See that?
Yeah,
he's a king.
As if that's the way that money.
yeah, but
He found his vision found the sight. The view where the view. He found the view. And I don't feel no problem around speaking like that.
so he came to the setting of the sun, and came to him once.
Until when he reached the settings.
He finds in the muddy spring. He found it set in a spring of murky water. He found it going down in the Black Sea. So most translations are saying.
He has some critics page in it. Yeah, but I'm just saying, it doesn't matter what they say about the friend going on in the Black Sea or because if the darkness of the sea that was there, that is right. It doesn't matter if that be. I could say I could find going on the sun going on into the mountain.
These are
But are you thinking that he's saying that he found the sun literally, he go and pick up the sun? Do you know what the sun is, any? People making a fool of themselves by doing this.
Yeah, but remember, at Muhammad's time, he wouldn't know what the sun was.
What mean you don't know what the sun was? You mean that's what you're saying?
No, but-
You live in a hot country.
Yeah, but
There's more sun than you in here.
yeah, but Muhammad wouldn't know how big the sun was, would he?
It doesn't matter if he doesn't know how big the sun was.
Yeah, if he looks at the sun, he'll see how big it is.
You don't know how big the sun was.
No,
You know more about the sun than the Western world. 7th century in the Quran, why you talk about this? He said the sun and the moon each rotate in their own orbit. You understand that? He says 7th century, the sun and the moon in the Quran each rotate in their own orbit. You know what happened after 7th century in the Western world? These dumb people still think the sun is stationary, ain't it? Because Elo century B, you see Elo century 1?
well,
Which one was it?
no, the flat earth.
I'm saying long after 7th century, the Western world still get it wrong. They think the sun was stationary. That was never the correct question. We know that the sun takes 26 to 28 days complete rotation. Quran from the get-go from 7th century still correct. Even long after 7th century, these people still getting it wrong. The Western world. So don't come and we cannot tell a prophet about the Son of God because he get information from God directly.
Right, so would you say that the way it was written in the Quran is unclear?
It's not unclear. I think these people corrupted perception and read something, and it makes it evil there because it's not like some verse in the Bible. It's common sense. It's talking about a human being that's unhurt. You can walk out unhurt. That's what the verse telling you. Read from before.
Well, actually, this is according to this page. This is a literal word by word in English.
Yes, you find the settings.
It says until he reached setting place the sun, he found it setting in a spring, dark mud, and he found near it a community who said, "O Dhul-qarnain, either you punish."
What are you reading?
No, this is the word by word. So I'm missing out the brackets because
I'm on the actual Quran that come here. You can read the word from right here.
yeah.
I'm on the actual thing here. If you read that, someone translated on the other page.
No. This is supposed to be literal word by word. That's
Look
what they're saying.
it gets more literal than this. So he followed away. He's walking on earth. He's settled on earth. Yes, on the east. He's on foot.
Yeah.
Until when he, the human being, reaches settings of the sun. What is the setting?
Well, where the sun sets, isn't it? He reached wherever the sun set.
Where he reaches the sunset.
Yeah. So that's what he said, isn't it? Look,
So
setting place.
I just wait a minute. I just jump. I give you an example. I'm on earth here. I jump on a plane.
Yeah.
And I reach Jamaica right at the time at the time where we know the sun doesn't set. We know, but the language we use it. Can't actually use the language where the can't speak to the people them sometimes in the language that they use so they understand the message. So I go to Jamaica at the time. We call it Maghrib time, where the sunset time. And actually, so we reach the setting, so we're talking about place there, the place where the sunset. So for me, because while on my journey, I never see the sunset on my journey going. But when I reach Jamaica, as I'm stepping off the plane, and I look up, in front of me, just as I'm stepping off the plane.
Yeah.
So then Jamaica would be the setting place for the sun flowing right in that moment. Is there something wrong with the language?
No. But remember, he said he says he found it.
The place where he arrived at the place where you get the view of the setting of the sun in that place.
That's the thing. He doesn't say that. You know it.
I mean, he does say that, but because if you don't understand what you're reading,
Yeah, you're right. So why is it none of these translations say view? I mean, this
you don't have to say view if we do, because God thinks that He deal with human being. God says so many times, have you have no sense?
No, but I thought the Quran was supposed to be clear.
He don't have to tell you if it's a view.
No, it's the
Because
Quran.
it's clear because it's talking about a human being walking on earth. So they don't need to tell you view if we have IQ, they don't need to tell you view.
No, but it's clear. It should have said.
It is
so,
clear.
So it's not confusing.
It is clear, but your perception may be not clear. Even my son read that, he knows what he's talking about. He's talking about the visual view. Why does he know that? Because then he's not a precondition hater that says, same way I could have done the same thing today when the man come to me and says, Christianity is not my religion. But of course, when the Muslim guy come and was saying, I said, no, you don't say that. When Jesus says, I come to spread peace, I come to turn a man from it, there's a context to that. And I was the one who gave him the context. I don't know if he was here this thing, when the other Christian guy couldn't even give him the context. I said, he's not talking about a physical so that's the metaphorical right here. Meaning when he comes and people start following, this type of start following him, those who don't want to follow him or want to rebel against him, it will make a rift between them.
Right, but when we look at
but I could play the mischief game. I could easily do it.
But notice when you look at these translations, some of them try to say he found it, and they got that bracket saying as if.
He found it.
Yeah, but some of them say as if, and one of them says.
I read it with the bracket. I read it. This is current.com. I didn't read no bracket.
Yeah.
He came to the certain place where the appear view to the human being, the place where it's set.
Yeah, but none of these translations are going to say that.
If we see the moon right now, we see the moon now place in it. Are we in UK where we see the moon?
Yeah.
So UK is the place right now for the sightseeing of the moon. UK is the place.
Yeah.
Is that settings right here? It is a settings. You know what settings mean, innit?
Yeah, settings is a place.
When I'm asking what was the settings, you know what I mean?
It's a place.
There you go.
Yeah, but remember, this is Arabic.
There you go.
This isn't Patois.
You know, it's translation in English right there. You're not reading Arabic, and I'm not reading Arabic. It's in English right here. I'm saying, even in English though, the people who pull this argument, they make themselves looking dumb. The joke's on them, but they don't realize it.
But then look, this translation says he perceived its setting.
I'm telling you, brother, I just reached Jamaica. I just stepped out of the plane and I looked up and I saw the sun setting.
Yeah.
Jamaica is the setting place for that view for me right there. Jamaica is the second place. But that's where I saw it when I just reached.
Yeah, but then.
Do you understand the point?
Yeah, but notice when I look at all these translations.
I just reached the setting place of the sun because I just reached Jamaica and I look up on the sun setting.
Yeah, but.
Right at time when it's setting. Right in time I came and it started setting. And Jamaica is the setting place for the sun.
Yeah, but if you look at all these translations, they all say in or into.
Into.
Yeah, it says in or into.
With our translation. I have translation here. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, all of them. It says in a murky spring, in a spring of black muddy water.
Yes.
In a dark
The
muddy
view
spring.
will look like it's going in it. It's correct. The view will look like it's going in it.
Yeah, but notice what it says. It says a muddy spring of murky water.
Yes, his view find it going in it.
Yeah, but
I literally find the sun sometimes setting into a water, into an ocean, into a sea when I'm going in. Sometimes I find it setting into the mountain.
yeah, but why do so many of them say spring?
Because where I was traveling, the view where the sun was setting, there's a spring in that direction, so it looks like it's going down in it.
So the spring is going to go all the way from where he is, all the way out to
Let me give you an example. I was in Jamaica one time, traveling and going over a bridge.
Yeah.
Where there's large body of...
Let's
Yeah.
have a debate on
sir.
Tawheed.
Wait a man,
Yeah.
1 second. Where there's large body of water.
We're gonna do it.
Where there's large body of
I'll be
water.
back.
Large body of water. So the view where I look in the direction where there's large, I can only see water because it's a large body.
Yeah.
But then the sun in the sky, and the sun is setting at that moment. But because the large body of water, your radius, your eyesight is limited. So no matter how far you see, the farthest you can see, you will still see water as a low surface.
So you're talking about this first translation.
Now I'm just saying to you, no matter how far you look, you're gonna still see water as a low surface.
Yeah.
And then don't you look like the sky and the water meet because of your limited radius.
Yeah. So.
In your, no, listen, in your view, you know what I'm saying this fact. You know what I'm saying this fact.
Yeah.
No, but because the sun is in the sky, the sun is not in the water. The sky is not in the water. The water is from the sky. But the view from where you are, and because there's only large body of water in front of you, that bridge where you're going over, the view appears as if the sun is going down into the water.
Yes.
So it's talking about it's talking about Dhul-qarnain, perceive view. That's all it is.
Yeah, so what you're doing is you're agreeing with the translations which have the as if in the brackets.
You don't have to agree with it in bracket. Even I read it without bracket, and I'm telling you.
Yeah, but then you won't have as if though.
But
So you need the brackets.
but I tell you, even when I read this, I didn't have to read all of those things. I just know what he meant. So maybe my brain is quick then.
Alright, so you want the first translation.
But I'm saying to you,
So you should get a Muhammad Assad.
until when he reached 1 second. First of all, if you read it to me, it's talking about a man on earth walking.
Yeah.
If you know the fact from before, even before the revelation revealed, the Arab didn't believe that the sun coming on earth. No Arab believe that. That's not their belief.
Yeah, no, because remember what he's saying here in the Quran is that it's going into the spring. So it's not going on the earth, it's going into the spring, isn't it?
What is going? Is he saying the literal sun going to the spring?
Well, you have a hard time translating anything else.
He's saying the literal sun going to the spring. He's saying that the human being find the literal sun going to the spring.
Yeah, but it's
Why him one? Why this one? Why this human being one? Because obviously everyone could look at this guy and say, why him one find it going to the spring? Because he's traveling with a comrade, he's traveling with other people. Why him one find it?
No, remember
He didn't travel alone, he traveled with comrades. Why talk about him?
No, Abu Dhar asked, you're talking about Dhul-qarnain?
Yes,
Alright.
he was him one traveling. Why it says him? Him find, single him alone. Why it says him find it?
Well, it doesn't say he's traveling to find
God is sharing to you, God is showing you the power of His revelation. God is showing you the thoughts in the Dhul-qarnain mind. If Dhul-qarnain was alive today, would tell us, say yes, to me within myself, that's how it was viewed to me in my process thought. So God is showing you all the currents from God, because only God could know the human being process thought from in the world. No other human being couldn't know that.
Actually, have you noticed what's happening?
Yeah.
You're doing a good job of describing this.
I'm not doing a good job. I should have to do this because I'm saying to you, if you already know, the Arabs from before, Muhammad, peace upon him, every single person know that the sun, the literal sun in the fireball in the sky, that the current also, for you to understand what the sun is, you don't know more about the sun than Prophet Muhammad. Because when you was revealed in the 7th century about the sun, you the Western world, you're backward, you don't know these things. The Quran is saying that the sun is not rounded up into a perfect sphere. The Quran is saying futuristic, and the day of judgment come, the sun will be rounded up into a perfect sphere. Scientists know, 99%, they call 99% prediction. Scientists says, when the sun loses energy. When the sun loses the energy, because scientists say the sun is not rounded, but we put a camera, we go to the moon and put a camera right here, take photograph of the sun have unbreakable lava, over 15,000 kilometers flaring out from the sun, a furious, fiery, just keep on flaring out like a wild, isn't that around? But when you're on Earth here and you look up, you think you're looking at around sun, you can't look for long because I hurt you. But with little glance you get, do you think you're looking at around sun?
Yeah, that's because you can only see the part from the core. The outer part aren't. Right.
Yeah, but don't you think you're looking at, without all the science and all this invention, before don't you think you're looking at around sun?
Yeah.
Was you correct?
Yeah, it is round.
Oh, you're not correct. It's not round.
No, you're talking about the flares. The flares.
It's not round.
The flares are extra out
It's
on the
not
outside.
round. Scientists says 99% when the sun loses light, then it will cool on. When it cool on, that's when it will get its final shape.
Yeah, but
It's not a round sun. But, so I'm saying to you, while you on Earth now, and if you will ever say that you look at a round sun now, and you didn't know the scientific discovery and thing and not telling you, it's not a round. But when it cool on, loses energy and its light, that's when it will be rounded up. But Quran said it before them. No, if you, but back then, if you didn't know all of those things and say the sun was round now, and then when you find out that discovery later, you know, the joke should have been on you now.
yeah,
Because we just said to you, oh, you saying the sun round when it's not round.
Right,
You see what I'm saying?
but what are you saying the Quran says though?
The Quran says, Allah speak about something on the Day of Judgment, futuristic.
Yeah.
He's talking about Day of Judgment. Not Day of Judgment yet. 7th century is not the Day of Judgment either, when the Quran revealed. And the day will come, it's coming to the Day of Judgment. When the sun will be rounded up into a perfect sphere.
Okay.
So it's talking about something futuristic. Because he said futuristic, which is the Day of Judgment, which is not here yet, then the deductive thinking tell me now. He said that the day will come when the sun will be rounded up into a perfect sphere. The deductive thinking tell anyone who comes and says, oh, that means the sun is not rounded now because he's talking about the Day of Judgment, that action will be on the Day of Judgment. It's not the Day of Judgment, yes. So come and says to tell you right now, then the Quran is saying the sun is not round.
Right, but
Then scientists discovered clear, like I said to you, when the sun cool, lose all its energy, and then it cool down, then it will take its correct shape.
when you say
It's
round,
not a round, it's not round. You think it's round because you're looking here.
when you say rounded, you know rounded can have multiple meanings.
Eh?
So do you know what the Arabic?
It's talking about shape. It will be rounded up into a perfect sphere. Yes. So we realize clearly 99 production. I was watching this 99, because the scientists they leave 1% out of the. I don't know the reason why I think it's they leave one out. But 99 says the sun it have over constantly all sides of it. 15,000 kilometers flowing out away like lava just stretch out, wild, furious.
Yeah.
It's not a ball. It's not round.
Yeah, but it is because of gravity. Gravity makes the fuel that shape. It's only the actual energy when it explodes out that gives you.
So if something is constantly unbreakable like that, can you call it round?
Can't see unbreakable.
If I could draw an image on the ground here of what they describe about how the sun constantly lying in that state, you can't call it round because it's not a round shape.
Yeah,
But when you were here on Earth looking with a short little glance, you think you look at a round sun and you say me.
yeah, but the fuel itself that drives the reactions, that's spherical.
You think
Because
you
the
can?
gravity pulls it in.
No, it's not round.
Okay, but anyway.
I want you to go research it, man. I'm telling you.
But anyway, we've gone off.
I was watching the documentary, man. It's amazing. It's not round. So the Quran clear says when the ozone meaning when you lose all the energy, and the day of Judgment when the sun will be overthrown, the day will come when the sun will be rounded up into a perfect sphere.
Right, but
So how come this Quran 7th century, this anathema is telling you, indicating that the sun is not round right now, because the Day of Judgment is, because it's talking about the Day of Judgment action right there. So then it comes to tell you that right now it's telling you that it's not round. It's just telling you. So how is it telling you it's not round? Correct point about the sun. Second point, how is it telling you that the sun and the moon each rotate in their own orbit? 7th century, long after 7th century, the Western world still getting it wrong. With all the equipment that they have, they're still getting it wrong. They're playing catching up. When they get it later on and they realize sun take 26, 28 days, they up the information, but they'll get it wrong after. They can't get it right from 7th century. So Max, you know, if you were ignorant about the sun, why was 7th century telling that the sun and the moon rotate in its own orbit? Correct point. It was on Earth.
yeah, that's true. But remember,
Now I'm asking you that. So I'm giving you a background that as a revelation from God, it has the correct information about the sun.
Yeah, but except for the spring. It's not
Necessary.
No, what I'm trying to say to you, so because if we see that in-depth correct information about the sun at the time when before you and people like you who claim to be advanced didn't know it, that the sun rotated in its own orbit, you didn't know it. Yes? So I'm showing you how the human being or Prophet then with God revelation, the Quran, is more advanced about the knowledge of the sun than you at a time where science were backward. This is my point I'm trying to say to you. If it's more knowledge than you about the sun then the only thing that he meant right there later on, it cannot be incorrect. Because he proved at a earlier date without the equipment that is more knowledge about all the science about the sun. You get my point I'm making here?
Yeah, but one thing though, is there an Arabic word for orbit? I'd be
Yeah,
surprised if there was.
Yeah, right.
Because the orbit wouldn't have existed in
You have Arabic?
There might be.
Because it would have been something else, wouldn't it?
Each rotate in the whole orbit. You have a word for it? Come on.
I said orbit.
Eh?
Because orbit's a modern word.
The sun, but you know what orbit mean?
But that's the thing, it's one of those fancy words, isn't it? So,
Yes, sir.
because if you're on Earth, how would you say that something orbits? The only way you do it is if you've got a string and spun a stone around, isn't it?
Yeah, but
see something like
you cannot escape the rotation. So you say there's no orbit code for rotation?
No, but to actually observe an orbit, that's the only way you can do it.
There's no word for rotation?
Yeah, but that's a different word.
Yeah, but I'm asking, after Prophet Muhammad, the Western world, did they say the sun rotate? Was they saying the sun rotate? I'm saying after Prophet Muhammad, if the Western world, the wrong belief that they have, did they have that the sun rotate or did they have it stationary?
Oh, well, I haven't looked up the history.
They didn't even have the rotation part correct. That's my point I'm making. So you're gonna say there's no word in Arabic for rotation? So what are we doing now? We're rotating?
No, but orbit's different. Orbit is kind of going
Yeah, but I'm
around.
trying to show you. If it's talking about celestial body, it's talking about it's rotated as if even though it's going around, but on its own, it's still spinning on its own.
Yeah, but that isn't orbit. Orbit is going around something.
The word I use there, that says if it applies to a man in the water, that implies that he's swimming. If it applies to the ocean body, that means like the sun and the stars, it's implied that it's moving. You cannot say that God didn't know about the sun, God created the sun. That makes no sense. When God revealed the Quran.
Oh, you're talking about the way it's mentioned in the Quran?
So God used God used that word to address the sun, because God created the sun. You know what the best word to use for the sun in Arabic?
No, but is it actually orbit? Is that the word though in Arabic?
I'm saying, but orbit, what's the meaning behind orbit? Explain it. What's the action of it? Describe the action. Rotating.
No, but that's different from orbit. That's what I'm trying to say.
What's orbit?
Orbit is when something goes around something.
It's more scientific.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's more scientific than
So you're saying there's no word. There's no word in Arabic. You're saying.
No.
What's gonna? Are you really saying? There's a word.
You can search it.
What's gonna, brother? What's gonna? You saying there's a word? There's a word in English to explain when something goes around something.
Yeah.
Even though English is a 11th century deficient language. Now, let me see my point. English is a 11th century language, deficient language, not powerful like Hebrew, not Arabic. These are Semitic language, strong. One word have multiple meaning. That's how powerful this language are. Unlike your English language. Yes? So this deficient language, you saying we can find a word to express something going around something. But in Arabic, the same action which you could demonstrate on the ground and people do it every day.
No, but what I'm saying
and you said that we didn't have no word to explain it. A ring game, someone in the middle, people running around. And we don't find. You saying that we didn't find no word. We don't find no word to describe that.
No, but think about it. How would someone in Arabic at that time explain orbit? How would they do it?
I'm just explaining Arabic. They explain in the language that they have. You say Arabic in your language. Arabic is a made-up word.
No, but words are there to describe.
I'm saying, but the action are 11th century, where the sun going around, where what you call Arabic, the action that you're describing as Arabic, before the 7th century, and before you got the O and the R and the B and the I and the T in the English letter that spell that word, the action was still there going on. What did you call it then? Because Arabic didn't exist.
No, but you have to see it.
I'm saying the word Arabic didn't exist, but action was there going on. What did you call it?
Yeah, but you have to see the action to actually describe it. You describe things that you see, isn't it?
Yes, what I'm saying, before the Arabic didn't exist. So I'm saying to you, before the English language, English 11th century language, Quran revealed 7th century. So Quran have a more platform to have a more person to come first to have a word to describe such action from the creator. Your action, your arbitrary, we can dispel it, we can throw it out. Because you make a word later for it.
Actually, the easiest thing is, you know what verse that is? The one who talks about the orbit. Do you know where it is in the Quran? Because the easiest thing is also for us to look it up, isn't it?
I'm saying, if anyone would have a precedent, an Arabic word would be more validated for me to take because it came before your language that you're using.
No, but...
And the sun exists by them time when Arabic words there.
Alright.
God knows about the sun from that time same way.
Yeah, but
So it does a.
But do you know what verse that is?
The only way because you don't the Quran to be the word of God and you deny it, that's why you challenge it that way. But I'm saying to you, when you're going to use the word orbit here in English, you have to be careful. The word orbit has been come later on to define an action that they don't even know that was going on previously.
Yeah, but no, so I'm asking you what the verse is. I'm asking you what verse it is so we can just look it up.
And the orbit might be changed like how the word to mean something different later on, like how the word gay changed to mean something different. Gay mean happy back then, no it mean something different now. So be careful, orbit might change later on, what are you going to say then?
No, but we're talking about what it says in so you know that the verse you're talking about in the Quran, do you know what it is?
Yeah, but we was talking about something different first before.
Yeah, but we're still talking about the sun though, isn't it? So we're talking about with the sun and the description of the sun in the Quran, isn't it?
I'm saying something with the Quran where some people who have intellect and stuff like that. God says, look up, talk about Jesus and Mary. God says, look how people said Mary, Jesus is God are put divinity to them. God said, but the man is man but walk the earth and eat food. God said, look how plain, look how simple we make the verses for them. So now God reads like that now, look how easy we make the verse for you. And some people don't even get it. What God said? God said they both walk the earth and eat food. And the Christian want to clock and say, but wait, why am I calling him God there? He walk the earth and eat food. They don't get it's so simple statement, profound, but they don't get what God is saying in the backlog wisdom of it. If he walk the earth and he eat food, what God is saying to you about it? Oh, I think deep and see what you're gonna get out. Dependency, oxygen, need food. The earth is his container. If he eat food and what happen naturally? The body process of digesting. If you have to digest and the process, what gonna happen after? He pass wind. Then you have to do number 2. This is who you calling God? The majesty of the one who created the heavens and the earth, the honorable, the most noble. So God says, they both walk the earth and eat food. Look how easy we make the verse for them. Have they have no sense? Can leave them to think about it.
So it's 21:33.
Yeah, 21, I think it's so, yeah.
21:33.
Yes. But remember you reading English right there, translation, so.
No, but that's why I go to this Awakening Islam, because it has all the different...
Transliteration?
Well, it has all the different translations.
I would call it expansion, it's a Musun. Musun in the expansion.
I do it for a reason. Not for the sake of righteousness. If someone just decides to punish you.
But brother, he find this our brother. He following the Quran. Also, he finding something contradict something. For example, if I read today, if I am non-Muslim and I read this Quran sincerely, simple. If I ask Allah, oh Allah, guide me. I am lost. Allah will guide me. Allah will guide you, and then you will come to the Quran. Allah and the Prophet. But our brother, if he said that,
no, it's because something different. No,
no, he finding something always is good.
No, we explain.
At last, I hope.
No, because we were talking about the Bible earlier. So now I'm asking him
about Dhul-qarnain in the view.
No, since we were talking about the Bible for like an hour, so now we switched around.
No, we said about Dhul-qarnain. We were saying that because I said when you read the first value, we don't know backing on. It says he reached a certain place at the sun. We know from there when the sun, every human being know the sun is in the sky and he can't reach the sun. So why is it? It must tell the common sense to tell you that he's talking about something different. But because if you have a preposition that you read, if you take the book as a macro, Allah says they take what Allah reveals as macro. Allah talk about this as well in the behavior. Then you're gonna all a portion. But then I say, what? Careful what you're taking as macro. Because you can't let me say every other statement about the sun is correct. He's not wrong. He wrote it in his own orbit. And everything about the expanding universe, the stars and these things, man's portion of stars and these things. So all these things is talk about all things solar system and all those points correct here. But the one thing you want to pick up now, because you with your have the perception problem now, the perception is not you, I'm saying generally. The perception is a macro within yourself. If you think that it's talking about a human being, go and find a literal sun. Then you know very in advance that we can't go near the sun, so he's not talking about that. You should know that.
Yeah, so
when it says certain place of the sun, if you have any inkling and any IQ, you should tell automatically it's talking about view.
Yes.
How come I could see that immediately when I read of it? We don't know a bracket. If my children could see it, then it's gonna make the adult them who's seen otherwise as mischievous or make they look like a numbskull. No, not saying
May I ask you, who are you? Are you, what faith do you follow? Are you Christian? Or do you just believe in science? Some
So this is without bucket.
No, I found, you're saying about orbit. It seems that most of them, it says travel, so they say, some say orbit, but others say each in its rounded course. And another one says in their celestial spheres, gliding in its orbits, each swimming in orbit.
Each rotating,
do you know Arabic?
Little bit, yes.
Yeah. They're trying to find if the she says orbit.
word, yeah?
Orbit. Is it in?
Okay, but the word is
What
Arabic.
it means is خلق الليل والنهار. Means Allah is the one who created night and day.
The sun and the moon.
والشمس والقمر, the sun and the moon.
Remember, one second, brother. Keep it hard. Remember, he's talking to human being on earth about the sun and the moon.
كل في فلك يسبحون. كل في فلك يسبحون means,
Yes, but yeah, that's the word, yeah.
yeah, they surrounding the orbit.
All right, but is it the
You
word?
find it the way to you, good man. Thank you. You find it. This one tells you about the sun and the
About what
moon.
Tawheed? What?
That
What is Tawheed? So we'll have a discussion. What is Tawheed?
To the orbit. Yasbihun means
You guys always complain that Christians talking about Islam.
All
Now
right,
we're saying let's talk about Tawheed.
Yeah.
What is
All right,
Tawheed?
but does it say around?
What is Tawheed?
Yeah, exactly. We'll talk about what
So does it
Tawheed is.
say like moving around?
No, Yasbihun, he said.
And I saw you on the camera this morning. Who were you talking with?
Oh, right.
About in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, John 1:1.
Like something not going down.
Oh, so but it doesn't
Like swimming.
it doesn't say around it.
No.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, see, so
Yes, but
that's what I was trying to say.
what?
That it's the Arabic is not necessarily like around like in the sun. Like it's moving in a direction somewhere.
In there what?
No, what I'm saying, see, orbit specifically is around something. But the Arabic, from what you're saying, is to do with the moon, not necessarily around in a circle.
No. It says
What's the
it says
I don't know Arabic.
All right, okay.
I can
the
read,
word says
I
the
don't know
word.
the meaning.
No, read in the English. You can read English.
No,
But what's the point? What's your point?
No, but I'm trying to find.
You keep saying.
So you wait. Sorry, wait.
No, because they
wait.
translate it as orbit.
So wait.
What's the
Sorry.
point?
You saying they put Arabic up as well? I mean they know Arabic, innit?
Yeah.
And they put the translation there.
Mm.
But then you ask someone else, and I'm not just speaking about that. You know Arabic as well,
Yeah.
and you ask him to translate it as well.
Yeah, but the thing is that.
So, but you say okay, then no.
What I'm saying is orbit has a specific meaning, but what they're doing is just an
The word Arabic is
approximation.
a letter name. You can say I can say the act. I can describe the action of what people meant by Arabic. You don't say the word Arabic in it.
Yeah, no,
You understand?
but,
The concept of it.
that's what the Arabic is doing. But what I'm saying is, it's not specific as.
Well, I'm saying the Arabic exists before the English level central language.
What's the point?
Well, no, he's saying.
This verse revealed when the
Okay,
English established. One second. This verse revealed when the English language never established. English is a level central language. You know aware of that?
Yeah, but what I'm looking for.
You know what the old English look like? You can't recognize it. You know that?
What are you looking for?
No, but what I'm saying is that what I'm trying to find is if there was an Arabic word which describes something going around something in a circle, specifically a circle.
Okay, so what we're gonna do with that information?
No, so that means it didn't originally say orbit. It said
Oh, you know,
something-
you didn't say you don't know what the word means.
No, we just asked. He said.
Here, you say you just ask, but instead of ask the man, they just tell you what the word means in translation. So why you have to ask again?
No, because you see, the thing is, what the translators do, they sometimes, you know it as well.
So why do you feel that the translator might do the same way, the same procedure?
no, he knows Arabic.
Or because they give you what you want to hear?
You know me?
Yes.
No, but we don't.
But what was his
Yeah, but
point?
what I mean is, I didn't tell you how to.
And he is the one that created the night and the day, the sun and the moon, each in orbit floating.
That's the one. Yes. Floating means
That's what he says.
swimming.
So he said that's the one. So what he saying
No,
now?
he says floating. But
That's what he says now.
yeah, but remember, orbit means specifically around something.
Yes and no. The translator know the orbit mean that.
Yeah, no. So what I'm saying is, the
I
translator.
translator know that.
Okay.
Hold on, one second. The translator know that Arabic more than me and you. You know Jasper own. Listen, because I Arabic speakers talk about yaspaun. You know what yaspaun mean? Rotating and
swimming.
rotating at the same time and floating.
Is it?
Yeah, but you just said floating, isn't it?
Yes.
But
you
does
can
it give a
say
direction? Does it give a direction like curved? Because remember, that's what orbit is a curving around.
I mean, the point is,
Yeah, there's more than one.
why do you want the word orbit?
No, what I'm trying to say is the translators, they put orbit in to clarify it, but the original Arabic word in Muhammad's time wasn't orbit. That's the point
Okay,
I'm
but
making.
what's the problem?
What?
What's the problem with that?
No, because orbit is a specific
One
thing
second,
going
one
around.
second.
The Quran not
Okay,
Wait,
what's
one
the
second.
issue? The issue.
You realize what you're asking? You saying 7th century. This English word that didn't exist right there. Come
Exactly.
on,
So what's the issue?
No, but you see, that English word's got a meaning. It's the meaning I'm saying didn't exist.
What mean? Yeah, but the meaning
of going around something. So you got one object, another thing goes around
No, they
it.
can't be telling that because they didn't know. 11th century, they didn't know the sun go around.
No, I'm talking about the Arabic.
11th century, English is a 11th century language. 11th century, the Western world still didn't know that the sun was stationary. They didn't think the sun going around nothing.
Yeah, so did the Arabs know that?
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? 11th century, the English language, at 11th century, they still think the sun was stationary. They didn't think it orbit nothing.
Yeah, but this is the thing, right?
So what you're saying is not correct. They could not say use the word orbit then. Because that makes no sense. They cannot use the word orbit for something that they believe was stationary.
No, we're talking Arabic, remember?
I'm saying periodically, these people don't believe the sun move. It's stationary.
He's getting to the
Fixed.
point.
It's monument, statue.
Yeah,
Don't move.
You're proving that it moves, though.
Yeah, I'm saying to you, I'm saying the Western world, 7th century, they believe the sun didn't move periodically. That's within the English language paradigm. Now I'm saying to you, you don't see that big massive problem in that. So you cannot trust those people to come to, let's go to Arabic now. 7th century now, the word you use there, yaspaun, doesn't mean a statue. It means something moving at least.
All right,
So that show you 7th century, Prophet Muhammad is way, the current peace on him, is way ahead of the one who think it's stationary. It's faster than you same way.
Yeah, no, but I'm not disagreeing with that. It's just the fact they got orbit all down there, but that's just them embellishing it. Like,
So because you, the reason why you don't realize it rotate and move, because most of the Western world scientists, they stand on the shoulder of the Arabic scientists, the pioneer. The Arabic scientists, the Muslim scientists are the forefathers for the Western world. Did you not know? Who discovered the blood circulation? I think it's William Harvey.
What's the other one?
It's a Muslim scientist who drew the first world map. You think it's the Western people? It's a Muslim scientist who drew the world first world map. The Muslim scientists,
Algebra.
yes, these are your pioneer scientists. These are the foundation. The Western world is on top of them head, but they are liars.
but then,
Ibn Nafis.
but then what you're saying, then they should have fixed that 18.
I'm saying to you, that orbiting, that movement thing here, I'm not saying they don't have equipment later on. I'm not saying they don't have equipment later on, and they can see addition more stuff as well. I'm not saying no. I'm sure you were bad up after 7th century. They were so bad they think it was completely stationary.
I don't understand.
7th century, this verse indicate moving.
What's the problem?
Yeah,
So,
okay,
so
alright.
I'm saying to you, there's a massive difference from stationary later on where you still getting it wrong.
Yes, but Arabic.
No, this you know, if they're following the Muslim scientists, they pick up the Muslim movement, they pick up this
What's the
word,
problem? I don't
because Arabic came later than this word.
What's the problem?
It's a language X4. They pick up yaspaun, what it meant by the Arabs, and they upgrade it when they have more equipment.
Alright, okay, so now,
So we don't bash foundation.
alright, so basically what it comes down to is, when you spoke to me first time, you shouldn't have said orbit, you should have said that Jasper rules, shouldn't you?
Yaspaun.
To clarify
But
it
it's
more.
pretty much the same.
Yaspaun.
No, orbit is very specific. If it's not
But that's an
specific,
English word. That's an English word, right? And Arabic and English are two different things.
no, but the word orbit has a meaning. The meaning is specific. So if the
That
meaning
goes
doesn't
around
fit,
something. That goes
yeah,
around.
if it doesn't fit the actual, if the meaning doesn't fit.
Okay, so you want English to be your like.
No, it could be any language.
want
Guide.
If-
English is his guide, yeah.
No.
You want what came later,
The things
the
that came
different
later,
language that
this is
came
guide.
11th century.
This is your guide.
No, what I'm
In
saying.
other way around, is the Arabic should dictate the English.
No, my
Yeah,
point
yeah,
is,
that's
if,
fair, that's
You're missing the point. You know, you can't use a different language.
the point, yeah.
It's like my son, yeah, came later than me. It's my son.
And now you want
Yes.
to use him to guide you.
My son cannot dictate to me because I'm the father.
yeah, but here's the thing. If they had
Do you
rockets,
understand what you're saying? That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
My son don't dictate to me
He just saying
because
you're
I'm the
trying to
daddy.
yeah, but if they had
My son don't
rockets,
tell me what time to move and when to go and where to go. I tell him when to move. I tell him where to go because that's my son.
Yeah, but if they had rockets...
So
and-
English language,
You shouldn't use English as a
English language, even some of the English letters, they take it from Arabic letters. He didn't know this, they copy some of the letters.
Yeah, but here's the
Hebrew,
thing,
Arabic,
if they had spaceships or rockets and they saw how that thing
They didn't have
orbit-
they didn't have
No,
specific.
but you listen to what I'm saying.
They didn't have specific.
They would have added the word orbit in Arabic, wouldn't they?
No.
They would
Orbit
have.
was a new way.
Orbit,
time.
orbit spell with English letters O-R-B-I-t. That did not exist. One second.
It's a scientific
Orbit spell with O-R-B-I-T. That did not exist in the 7th century.
If there's other languages that would have orbit though, in their own.
Which language? Which language?
The old world, the old world.
Which language? Which language? Which language?
See now
Ask
the
him which
moon,
language.
you
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
the moon, the Quran says, we put the very close moon, very close, I mean, sorry.
He's not understanding your point.
Because we can see. But if you try to take now airplane and you try to go closer, always you will go same distance you will cross it.
Yeah.
You can touch it.
All right, brother. Listen. All right, look at the word
We
before
understand
you.
what you're saying, but it's not making sense because you're using English as your guide.
Falakin before Yasba one. What Falakin mean?
Which language said orbit in those times?
Falak brother.
Falakin, listen.
It's the you know the stars, all the stars.
Where they from?
All the movies.
He knows
All
Arabic.
the
Where they from?
stars where
they from?
you know for the astronomy. There is 9 of what? 9?
Yeah.
You know Arabic?
9
Like
Falak.
our planets.
Yeah, planet. Yes.
Yeah.
Falak means is planet.
He knows Arabic. He knows Arabic.
Falak is a planet.
Yes. And the Yasba one.
يسبحون, as you said before, floating. يسبحون is swimming. The moon.
You tell him.
The
You tell him.
moon.
He knows that.
Oh, no, Yasba one.
The
What does that
sun,
mean?
they never go down.
Yasba one. Yasba one. If you're talking about that in the water, it means swimming.
That's correct.
Depends what you're talking.
And floating the same.
Floating, yeah.
Yes. The same.
But the orbit is
But I
still
tell you,
floating.
I want
Orbit
to
is
because
still
of multiple
floating.
meaning. That's what I said to you.
Yeah, no,
The
but
orbit is still floating. No?
We're not making up before.
Yeah,
In space. When you're in space, you're floating.
yeah, but this is specifically around though, because gravity pulls something
But
around.
whether it says
So if
orbit
they're
or
floating-
no orbit, it doesn't matter.
So they're floating.
No,
So
but I'm
if it says
You
each,
get the point. You need
if
to
it says each is floating on their own course, what the course mean?
Of course, it's its own way. The
Course
way.
is around the course.
The way. The way. The
Each
way
is
is
floating
going.
on their own
No, course can go in anywhere.
Course.
Course doesn't mean round.
Each is floating on
You
their
know,
own
it's
course.
like, you know, it's like, yeah,
Course, they say course.
It's like, yeah,
Course. He speak force, you say
it's like in those times.
Course
yeah,
means the way.
The course was
The
where
way
it
you
goes,
take
isn't
it.
it?
course mean rounded. Of course.
No,
Just because he
that's
did it.
orbit.
No, course mean course as well. Course mean rounded up as well. I want you to get the share. Each rotating, each floating in their own course. Each moving according to their own course. But
It is
the road that's
own path,
no, but the
way.
road that's
It is
there.
own
No,
way.
the road that's
That's
there.
what-
Why get to understand the road that's there? Because it's coming to that thing in the celestial body, innit? When it comes to that thing right there, it implies floating. If you talk about sometimes if the aspirin used to a human being on the ground, he's walking or he's running. It's just moving.
Yes.
If you're talking about in the water body, it means the person is swimming because it depends on the place. The meaning change depends on the place that he's talking about. You understand?
Yeah, so essentially, what you can get from it is that Muhammad or Allah told him that they moved, but
In their own course.
yeah, so they moved in a certain direction. You
Yes,
agree?
there's certain
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah,
It says floating.
but it doesn't specifically say orbit. So what I'm trying to say is the actual orbit itself.
So
wasn't-
all they float in each course if it's not orbit.
No, but remember what we're trying to
The
say.
sun and the moon is floating in each course if that's just orbit.
Yeah, but basically what it means is that the actual circular
Motion.
course, that's the thing that wasn't mentioned in the Quran. The fact
Mention
it's
even
circular.
other place, even mention other place because
Orbit is a
Allah
new
says,
word. It's a
Allah
new
says,
word.
what's on? Allah talk about the sun and the moon. Allah talk about the sun and the journey of it going and coming back.
Yeah, but still, where does it say it goes around though? I mean, we're talking
So
Arab.
when you go around, you have a starting point where you start from many.
Yeah, and you come back to the same point.
Oh, you come back. Oh, thank you.
so
I'm saying to you.
so it says that in the Quran.
I never speak about the sun. And I talk about the moon, the movie for the moon as well. Like all dead start till it come back. Like all dead starts.
But it does it give the shape of the movement though?
If it in its own, I'm telling you, the course also mean round as well. You say course don't mean round.
No, he
Course
says-
can mean round
no,
as
he says
well.
swimming, isn't it? He says
Course,
planet.
C-O-U-R-S-E also can mean round. Go get a dictionary.
Really?
Yes, course.
Well,
When you go to a cayman's track, when I say horse is running on a track,
It's not.
no, when I say if a horse is going to a circle, it's doing a course.
It's not always round. Though.
Oh no, you change it. You tell me don't mean round, but then you say it's not always round. I'm telling you it's a course also mean round.
You caught him. You caught him.
I'm telling you it's a course also mean round. You see, you have to change the word. You say it doesn't always mean. Get your dictionary out, because I used to read that damn dictionary. I know.
Yeah.
A course can also mean round, clearly. So if you use stuff that implies it, and it can also mean it, then it fits in. But I'm telling you, yes, but because Arabic word is not like a deficient, it's not a weak English language word. One word have it have full of respect, it have full of number. One word have multiple meaning. That's just the language. Before the revelation revealed us, how the language was stay. So it's not fixed, it's not staged. The language was like that before the revelation. It was known to be a perverse language. Before Quran reveal, yeah? Before Quran reveal, in the Arabic language, yeah? How much name you have for lion? Yeah, how much Arabic word you have for lion?
Lion.
To say a lion. You have Hamza, you have other words.
Lion.
Yeah. You have more than one word, yeah. You have more than one word, I'm saying. It's very powerful. So I'm saying it's not, people think it's staged. This language was like that before. Same thing Hebrew, no different, Hebrew.
Yeah, these are ancient.
They're stronger than, these are Semitic language, very powerful language.
English came from like Latin, and you know that.
English also copy something from those languages I'm talking about.
Yeah, they grab and choose, you know that.
Yeah.
They even take the resources.
Alright, but anyway, so
yeah, that's the one. Don't worry.
So what do you want to do? You want to go back?
It's talk about more than one thing, the solar body, the sun and the moon. It clearly points out two. It named two already, clearly. And if you're gonna say each.
But we still haven't got to the point. What's the point?
Each moving their own course. What does it mean?
Not orbit. Even specific, not specific. What is it? What's your point?
No, because you see, basically what he's saying is that the fact that the Earth orbits the sun, or the moon orbits the Earth.
Okay.
So that's describing as being in a circular-like motion.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is in the Quran, it doesn't actually say that actual circular part of the motion.
What it's going to say, not only that the sun and the moon is moving in its own. Each course. Keep that one. Each course. Now all that is doing is each course. Yes, moon is floating while doing it. Let me give you an example. You stay there, yeah? In some space. So I'm gonna move around you. This is the floating. My movement around you is the floating. Look at this. So I'm moving around you. But while I'm moving around you, I'm spinning on my own. So look at this.
This can be floating.
So it's not like you see this here. I'm still going around you, but while going around you, I'm spinning and doing my own course on myself.
Right, okay. But does it describe, that's not what it describes here though.
What me say describe here?
I don't want to hang around with it.
But because what you just showed there.
What me say describe here?
It says, and the one who.
Which one English? Which English you want? There's loads there. Which one you want to take? You want to take all of them? Should we read all of them?
It might take a while.
See this now? Because you want to be selective now, innit?
Actually, if you do it sideways, it becomes bigger.
So there is paraphrasing, but some of them mean the same thing, I'm telling you. Each in an orbit. They float. So we're talking about the float. Then each means singular. In an orbit, the orbit is spinning. So each of them, while floating, the move. This was the float. Go. Oh no, one second. This was the floating. The movement, because you're speaking about the celestial body. Yaspa means float when he's talking about what is in the sky.
But remember, we already agreed that those are friendly translations, though, isn't it?
But you asked me to read it.
No, but you can, the ones that say orbit, they're friendly translations.
Why friendly?
Well, because orbit.
But you don't know Arabic. You have to take what they give you. You can't say it's incorrect. You say it's incorrect. You take what they give you because you don't know Arabic, do you?
No, that's why I said friendly. Friendly means they're just making it more.
Oh, you know they're making it when you don't know the word, Arabic word, what it means.
No, but you guys have told me what it means.
You're presuming.
So you guys.
But they tell you, the Arabic person, the one who put Arabic up, they tell you what it means.
Both of you are agreeing that of what the word means. So I just listen to both of you talk.
There's no other language, just give me English.
Both of you are agreeing.
I'm saying to you, but you cannot use the English arbiter that came later on to dictate Yasbahun. You use Yasbahun to dictate your thing. Yasbahun can tell you what your things mean.
Yes.
If you say correct, you see, the Arabic can correct your English if you go incorrect.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying those are friendly translations.
What mean friendly?
No, No, because they...
Friendly relative to what?
Well, to English...
You can't be friendly without no friend. Friendly to what?
No, friendly to the propagation of the Quran, isn't it?
What propagation? Why is it propagation?
Well, because you don't want people to be confused and think that
If they want,
when they're talking about...
we're more transparent and more. We're not like the Bible. Quran is not like the Bible committee that keep changing every second. Right now speaking, the Bible is in a lab or factory right now changing.
Like what? So the King James has changed it?
It constantly changing.
But when?
King James, let me just say, King James, 1611 King James is 90% at Tyndale. King James 1611 is just a copy of Tyndale, that's all it is. King James is William Tyndale, that's all it is. Most of you don't even know this. And before King James 1611, you have Wycliffe, John Wycliffe Bible.
Yeah, but you know about Henry VIII.
And the Tyndale, because the Tyndale went against the church. And they burned him at the stake right out there, innit?
Brother,
So,
excuse me. Do you know?
You read Standard Bible?
Do you know Bible?
You read RSV? RSV is no different. It's just a copy of a King James coming down in America. Just American version, but the same copy of thing. Come through one trading. King James 1611, the 47 Edomite that the Israelites they call devil at the same time. I don't understand why. So the devil translated their own Bible. I'm just adding that bit. The 47 translator that King James used, this 47 translator, they tell you in the footnote, we're not here to make a new Bible. They tell you from in the preface.
Yeah, but what's that got to do with changes?
They tell you we're not here to we're only here to make it a bit better, not a new one. They copy exactly from William Tyndale.
Yeah, but you're saying changes. Well, what changes are you talking about?
So I'm saying to you, the Bible it copy exactly from William Tyndale.
Yeah, so what's the problem?
But I'm saying, wake up from William Tyndale, go read a William Tyndale Bible now and see if you can make up more stuff. You don't understand some of this stuff.
I'm looking for you, man.
No, this William Tyndale, yeah, I'm good, man. This William Tyndale right now, I try to read it online. So you get confused. You get confused reading it. So if you, from William Tyndale, something you can't make out then how come when you get to King James now, and you keep after revise it so much? If it's God's word and it's fine and the first go, why do you need to revise God's word? You don't need to revise God's word.
Yeah, you're the one who keeps saying that. It's what God's...
I'm telling you right now, speaking in some Bible committee, in some lab, they're going to bring a new edition of the Bible. Wait till next year, they give you a new one. I was watching Isaiah 29 verse 12. Back in Jamaica when I was a boy reading Isaiah 29 verse 12. You know what it says? Ask about the unlettered prophet. The word prophet is there. P-R-O-P-H-E-T is there. It says ask about the unlettered prophet who we gave a scripture. And his reply was, I'm not learned. He literally talking about a prophet, a title. You know what a prophet is, isn't it? Prophet of God. God said, ask about the unlettered prophet in Isaiah who we gave the scripture and he says we're not learning. When I was a boy reading the Bible in Jamaica, that's what Isaiah 29 verse 12. I dare you not to get Isaiah 29 verse 12 in any Bible, that's what they put there. They move the word prophet and put him and change the whole scenario like it's a dream. If you ain't got something hiding and you're honest people, why are you doing this? They say only guilty man have something to hide. If the police come in and we start running, the police going to say, oh, let me check out them, why are they doing that? So why the Bible coming to keep doing this? When I was a boy reading Isaiah 29 verse 12 in Jamaica, it says, ask about the unlettered prophet who we gave the scripture and his reply was, I'm not learned. Today now they change all of that, brother.
Which scripture though?
Isaiah 29 verse 12.
No, which scripture would the prophet be given?
It's beside the point. I'm saying the verse clearly says, I'm saying, this is what I said. The verse says Isaiah 29.
Very interesting to listen to both of you. I'm leaving.
I'm
very interested.
I'm saying to you, that's beside the point. If your Bible says, use the word prophet there, which is a well-known title, we know what prophet means. You shouldn't change it to him, to make it vague and obscure to people. Who is him? Any random him? We know a prophet is not any random. A prophet is someone that, a prophet of God.
Yeah, what would he bring?
That's beside the point. I'm saying to why you change it to him? Why you rub the word prophet out? Why the Bible if they not keep changing it? You said they not keep changing it. Why they keep doing that?
Well, we can see. What do you say, Isaiah? You can see what the...
He's looking to. But I'm telling you what you're gonna see now. You're gonna see it's like a dream and it's him. I'm telling you, you're gonna go and look for the change that already made.
Yeah, they change.
I'm telling you from before they change it, you're gonna go look at the changes.
See, Isaiah.
Nice to meet you, brother.
Yeah,
Nice to meet you.
right.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, man.
All right.
You can look at the changes now. That's what you're looking at. If you look at, you look at the changes. Why Christians always do this? You tell them something has him changed, they say, well, let me look at it now. But I'm telling you, you're gonna look at the changes now there.
Right, but you said, yeah, but which version of the Bible was that you were reading though?
Back in Jamaica, man, King James, man.
King James.
King James, always King James, man. Yeah, so if you know King James has been authorized more than once.
Well,
No, sorry, more has been revised. I mean, revised.
yeah, but you know the reason why they revised it?
Why revise it?
Because of things like...
And in the process of revise, you change some word, you change God words, isn't it?
No. So what do you say? It's 29 and...
12.
29.
I'm telling you what you're gonna see now, obviously. I'll tell you what you're gonna see. It's not my reading. You think that's not the original thing. I'm telling you what's the original thing previously.
Oh, read this pretty. He says, I am not learned.
I'll tell you what you're gonna see now, innit? Actually.
What's in there? That was the wrong one.
But back in the days, I never forgot that verse in my head. And then I put two and two together and I realized, you know what? Because these people know the only prophet of God that went through that event actually, as a prophecy is there, our prophet to come will go through that event. From Isaiah 29 verse 12, the only prophet who went through that event at the time when they get the revelation from God. Moses get Torah, David get Zabur, they call it the Psalms in English, just get the Injil. At the time when they get the revelation, their reply was to, at the beginning of getting the revelation, I am not learned it.
So where's he
the only prophet they know went to that experience here is Prophet Muhammad. This is why these honest people of the Bible come to change it.
So where do you say it's supposed to...
I tell you exactly what's gonna happen. I tell you they change. You're gonna see the changes. They're gonna put to him and they talk like it's a dream.
And so it's delivered to him that he's not learned.
I tell you already. Don't I tell you all that? I tell you that in advance.
I am not learned.
I'm telling you, when I was reading before all these stages where we are today, I was a boy. I'm 36 now, so I'm telling you when I was a boy in Jamaica reading it.
Yeah.
Ask about the unlettered prophet who we gave the scripture and it says I'm not learned. Word for word, I never forgot that word in verbatim. That's what it used to say.
You sure it was in the Muslim Bible?
It's not a Muslim Bible. I mean, I didn't know nothing about Muslim in Jamaica.
No, but Zakir Knight's quite old, so he could have...
I didn't know nothing. I'm saying the Muslim Bible in the church, that makes sense? I must go into church. So why they keep changing stuff if they have some hiding? Only guilty man have something to hide. Why they keep doing that? Okay, make such a massive change that's from that statement to this statement. That's dangerous. Why are you ashamed of the title prophet, the prophet of God? Why you tell me this is prophet? Leave the word prophet there. Why you go to him?
Well, I suppose the way of the Bible you...
John 1:5 verse 7, another thing. They added that to text. That wasn't there.
Was that John?
There are three that be recorded and three these are one. These are...
Oh right, yeah.
There should be a blank space.
Yeah, now if you remove that one. But
because it wasn't there for before and they added that, so then I remove it back. Take my after them, they come in sincere.
Alright, well actually I'll just go and see my...
So before the NIV remove it, the people who added it, when they know it was the scripture, see, I'm a man ask the next question, what else they added there? If they could be so bright and so cheeky with God's scripture to add that to John 1:5 verse 7. And it was there for so many years. And pastor used to preach it in church for how many years? How many people die upon that verse? Yes. Yeah, meaning that they hear it and they live wholehearted to it and thinking it's God's words. Yes. And later on we come to find out it's a fabrication. It we want to describe right into it. Like what Jeremiah says, they keep adding stuff.
It's not necessarily a fabrication.
It is.
The reason they removed it is according to the scrolls that they found.
It's not God's words. They had it's a scribe writing later.
But anyway, what difference would that?
And Uranus realized it earlier. Is Uranus one of them? He take it out. He was pressured and he put it back in. And it's one of them knowledgeable people about the Bible that they regard knowledgeable about this gospel. Uranus, I think, is the one that says the gospel is for like the compass. He's the one that made that statement. He realized that it wasn't, and he take it out. But peer good pressure, it happen all the time. Make a man do something wrong which he know that he did the right thing before. People do it all the time. Don't know.
I suppose what difference would it make? At least
how can it make no difference when you adding stuff to when a human being can be so relaxed and so acceptable to add to God text?
Alright, so you think it's...
And then for many years you was reading there are three that bear your record in heavens and these trees are one.
I never used to read that one.
And you say he doesn't. And you say that that's in a book where there's so much time. I say all of it is God said. It's the God word. But we come to know that God didn't say that part. It's a man had that part. And you say it doesn't make no difference. How come the man get to add that part in God? And I want to know if it's so easy for the man to add that part in God's words. My question is, what else did the man add that we don't know? That's a fair question, not it?
Not really, because what we got now.
If he could add begotten son. Begotten son is also another interpolation.
Yeah, but remember we said about Tinder.
Yeah,
if someone added a whole load in there, then the Tinder one would be different.
Why it have to take so many years before they take that out? Why do you have to deceive the people and collect the offering so many years and forgot you that they record in heaven and this chair one, John 3:16 now, the word begotten is not there. Another fabrication, interpolation. Our whole Bible is by 50 denomination. The revised standard. It goes back to the closest source. Throw it out and say it's a fabrication.
You know what, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, but these people who say do whatever they want is the same people that print the Bible for you in English and tell you what it means and give you one so you have an English Bible to read.
Right, so basically you're saying we can't go back to any other writing.
I didn't say we can't go back to any writing, but you didn't go back to the writing, they bring the writings to you.
So you're telling
so the one who bring the writing to you was known to be changing and not trustworthy and playing hanky-panky game. This minute it's white, this minute it's black, like William Blake says. You read there, you read there, you read there, keep changing it like that and playing with the emotion. Then why are we talking that we're the expert and we're going back? So when they find a new manuscript, they don't call me and you, they call them people.
Right, so basically...
Who print the Bible.
So the manuscripts that they use, we can't get to see them anymore.
Do you know them? Can you read them?
Well, I could learn Greek if I wanted to.
You could, it's a hypothetical, but they already know it and they're playing the game with us. The monetary game, forget the money off you.
Right, so you're saying someone's gone and changed all those old manuscripts and then reaged them so that they're older.
This guy called the ed team.
Yeah, that's conspiracy theory.
No, that's not conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
This is well-known facts. The guy called Divax, one of the ed team, they go to Kuma. He was one of the leader of the team. Excavators then we go to dig up.
But you realize the problem with what you're saying?
Yes, I'm saying. You know why he discovered in the code, you know why he discovered this is called? He discovered things for many years that they were keeping secret. You know why they were keeping secret? If they reveal it, they shut the Christian faith. For those who follow the truth, when it comes to surface. I do understand that some people here, you got many Christians right now, they realize, so they say, okay, no religion, no Christian, we don't need that, but we just got Jesus. And I said to him, what is the first time you hear the title just when you use the boy corrupt? Where if they get it from? Oh, they get it from a scripture before they bring it to you. So you just want to take one scripture and you want to treat that side. Just never throw the scripture aside. He quote it so many times. You know why? Because they themselves have a guilt and they say, okay, they know. They realize this temper and realize things not adding up, but they still want to say they hang on to something, so they make up their own belief now. That's a relationship with Jesus. They make some nonsense argument that has no basis in scripture. They make their own subjective way, you know. And they cannot see what they are doing. And if Jesus was here today, just would have bashed them for what they're doing. Yes? So because they realize they have no hope, because they realize themselves, their guilty conscious know that the thing has been changed and it has been tampered and it's messed up with. They know.
Yeah, but what's been changed? The original scrolls or what you've got now?
I'm saying to you, in that Dead Sea Scroll.
No, I'm talking about the ones other than the Dead Sea.
I see a Christian come and say, it's a brother himself, I say, yo, Dead Sea Scroll fine, you know. There's a brother and say, oh, the Dead Sea Scroll, you know, this thing is legit, no, it's authentic because we find the Dead Sea Scroll. And I used to sit back and I used to like laugh to myself, you know, not now, I just laugh myself. Only if you know what they've been hiding from you in that Dead Sea Scroll. Then you that ate the Dead Sea Scroll after. Only if you knew your Paul also were written level of your 27 New Testament. In the Dead Sea Scroll, what label they give to your Paul, your beloved Paul, the doctrine that you follow.
No, but the Dead Sea Scroll is Old Testament. It's not, because apparently it's supposed to be from before that time.
Yeah, but I'm saying sometimes they bring this thing and they say, okay, they know, we find the Dead Sea Scroll. When you used to bring the argument, I say, oh, the Bible changed nothing there. They say, we find the Dead Sea Scroll, everything's okay now. The Dead Sea Scroll is crap, everything. I'm saying to you, mentally the Dead Sea Scroll they find, they don't receive reveal to the public to protect the monetary interest that they get from the church. Because they will lose. The thing is, they will lose followers if they reveal these things. And I think they will lose followers from sincere people. But there's only a few sincere people. Because some of the Christian and whatever is now, no matter what you tell them, you show something logical to them. They're so blind by this subjective belief way of system that they make up by themselves. You don't need it. You don't need the scripture, man. I got Jesus.
Yeah, but
that's all they got. That's all I said they got. But there's some of these people when they come, they're gonna shock when they come back and just gonna say, Didn't I tell you that when you breach it to the least, I use singular of the least to tell you, you recognize the least of the kingdom of heaven. You were living as you was living while at the same simultaneously recognize as the least of the kingdom of heaven. You die as the least of the kingdom of heaven. So you're gonna tell me you got Jesus. You were living like you were living while you were the least in the kingdom of heaven. Because you were living breaching them left, right, and center. You breach not only the least, you breach greater than the least. Just using the thing, this just show you how serious the matter is. He used the least as a warning point for you. And he used in the singular sense. He said anyone who breach the least and teach man to breach it, he will be recognized least in the kingdom of heaven. Then he pluralize it now, generalize it now. Because he's talking about keeping them now. Anyone who keep them. If you look there, commandments actually with an S in the plural sense if you read the book. It's anyone who keep them and teach man also will be recognized great in the kingdom of heaven. Now today Christian going around, I got Jesus, no religion, no way of life, no this, not the way of life, just live. I don't need scripture, I got Jesus and I got the Holy Spirit to come and telling me all kind of nonsense stuff. Yes, they say that. No. When you look into their observing, they're not only breaching the least, they're constantly living while breaching the least and greater than the least. And the least was given a touchstone as a singular that if you breach it the least in the singular sense, you'll be recognized least in the kingdom of heaven. They're not breaching least, they're breaching greater than the least. They breach the second command, which is the second most important one. They breach so many. And they're living while they're living in the breaching state. None of them die in that breaching state. Are breaching greater than the least. So what? Yes, breaching the command. They breach more than the least. Just warn them about. Don't breach the least. If you breach the least and teach them to breach the least, in the singular sense, you use one commandment to warn them. So how strict the matter is when it comes to breaching them. But when we talk about keep them, he opened it up, he generalized it. He said keep them. But regarding prohibition of what you must not breach, he used one of them. He used the least.
Yeah.
So when we talked about commandment which is greater than the least now, if you forbid you for breaching the least, I say you'll be recognized as the least. What happens if you breach greater than the least?
It's bad as well.
You'll be recognized less, you will recognize worse than the least then. That's common sense. Huh?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying to you, I know Christians coming all year, constantly living in the state of breaching the least. And breaching greater than the least as well.
Right.
They're breaching the second commandment that mentioned in Exodus, where they make similes with God, with things that they find in heaven and earth or the water body. They make it similes.
Even the Catholics.
Yes?
Even the Catholics.
We're not talking about graven images, it's a different thing.
So what are you talking about?
Graven image is making a sculpture of God. That's what the second commandment talk about that bit. Then you have a comma, then it continue. You didn't finish there alone. The second commandment do not make any graven images. Graven image means anything you engrave, like a sculpture you draw out with your hands.
Yeah.
If you engrave an image in your mind, it says don't do it because it's an open statement. Then there's a comma, and it continues. And then it says nor. So the nor is a separation from the graven image. That's one part to itself. Nor any likeness. This is the open general part now. Of anything you find in the heaven. Because open generally means the whole entire heavens.
Oh, you mean like a crescent moon?
No, it says that anything, do not make any likeness. Do not make the likeness of something you find in heaven and say it's like that.
Yeah, you see a crescent moon in the sky. So.
Do not take something in the heaven and say it's like that.
Yeah, crescent moon.
Yeah, but nobody said the crescent moon is like that.
No, but it's a likeness, isn't it?
They don't say the crescent moon is like God.
No, but he said the likeness of anything that is in the heaven.
He says do not make.
He doesn't mention God, he says anything.
No. It says after the verse, if you read the second commandment, it's talking about God. God is commenting about himself. God is giving a ruling about what you shouldn't do about him.
No, and then he gives a ruling about anything which is in the heaven.
If you read the whole thing, the whole second commandment gives full context. It says, of thy Lord, do not make any graven images. Comma, continue. The nar, what the nar do? Because it's still on the same point, the same subject before, of the Lord.
Yeah.
Of the Lord, nor any likeness. Of the Lord, same way, the likeness must not make of the Lord. Of the Lord, do not make any likeness of anything you find in the heaven, the earth, or the water beneath the earth. So anything you find in those places, you cannot make a likeness by using it and saying it's like God, or think of it that's like God. Of the Lord, Do not make any graven image, nor any likeness. Meaning you don't make after Allah the same way. You have to understand what the R, the nar, and the comma mean.
No, the first commandment is about God. The second one is about anything else. It's the first one that's about God. This is the second commandment. It's about other objects which aren't. Because remember, it's any graven image or any lights or anything that is in the heaven above or that is in the earth, beneath or in the water under the earth. So that's about anything.
Listen, sorry, we're talking about church. We should not have no other gods before me.
That's one.
What that mean? Polytheistic. No pluralistic number of God.
Yeah.
Not two, not three. Yes? Now you cannot split up with one God into pieces. Yes? And making pluralistic parts. You can't do that. Yes?
Yeah.
So thou shalt not have no other gods before me. Yes? So is God addressed himself the same? Yes?
No, that's yeah.
Well then God tell you no. So if you don't have no other gods before him, there's only one God here. But regard to that one God, you get the notion of one God in three. When you go to four now, thou shalt not make unto thee. God is talking about himself same way.
No.
Any graven, who's God talking about? Thou shalt not make unto thee. Who's the thee?
No, he's talking about anything.
Thou shalt not make unto thee. Who's he talking? Who's the thee?
No, he's talking to that's the children of Israel.
Who's God is telling this? Thou shalt not make unto thee. Who's the thee right here?
That's the children of Israel.
Thou shalt make unto thee any?
Graven image.
Or?
Any likeness of anything
Yeah?
that is in the heaven above.
Don't make graven image of what?
Anything.
Of what?
Anything you can press it.
Thou shalt not have any. Thou shalt not have no other gods before me.
That's one.
Thou shalt not make unto thee. Who's the thee here?
No, that's
Unto God.
no, that would say me.
So God never used thee for himself. God never used thee for himself.
No, because there is somewhere he uses me.
So God never used thee.
Yeah, look, he says, look, I show mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
So God never used thee for himself.
No, he uses
So let's see. We're going to check if God used thee for himself in the Bible. If we find out that God used thee for himself, then the whole argument is failed. Because everybody knows second command. God is talking about himself there. You know, must have given the image unto him.
It's talking about the so you're saying it's okay to make images of something that isn't God. Is that what you're saying?
You can't take a thing in those place events. You cannot make a similar say it's like God. And then you make an image and say the image is God. I tell the image is a part to itself. The likeness part is also something that's already there. You cannot say it's like God.
That's reaching.
What am I reaching? The text is doing.
No, but he doesn't actually say what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? But you're mistaking thee to mean the people.
Yeah, but you're going to find where it says thee for God.
Once you guys say don't shall not make any graven images, what images of what he's talking about?
It tells you any likeness, anything that is in the heaven above, the earth beneath, that is the water.
Or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth, to the people as well.
Yeah, and animals.
No likeness of people.
Or animals.
So you say no, you don't make no likeness of people.
So you can't make statues.
So you can't say that you can't say any likeness of anything. This is second commandment. Do you understand?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The second commandment talking about you don't do this thing and say it's like God.
No. He doesn't say it. He just says you shouldn't do it. It's full stop. So no Christian moves.
Thou shalt not. Oh, look, you're getting it there. Are underneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them. Oh. These things, yeah?
Yeah.
Hold on now. Now serve them. For the Lord thy God. So if he's not making them with the intent of them being God. So why would he say he follow them and them relate to what above?
Yeah, but no, it's a different sentence.
Semicolon. I see. Remember, one four verses. All of it is in one verse.
Yeah.
So a link. It's in the same number right there. All of it. Then semicolon at the end of it. Then we get to verse 5 now. Semicolon. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them. Bow down is the act of worship for the God alone and for Creator alone. So them, what did them relate back to?
the things that are made. Isn't it?
Everything I mentioned in 4 again.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir. So thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images. So obviously, and if he says 5 that thou shalt not bow down unto them, meaning thou shalt not take them as God, because bow down is the action that you do for God alone, isn't it? Thou shalt not basically don't worship them. Thou shalt not serve them. Read a bit further. For the Lord thy God. Why do I God would be a jealous God if you not take them as God? As him which is there's only one God. Because before the tell us say, thou shalt not have no other gods in the plural sense, so you rule out the plurality. Yes? And the semicolon after 4, then 5, then they them relate to what opposite. So it's talking about in the area of divinity, making them as making the graven images as God, making the likeness of these making likeness of these things that you find in these places, saying they like God.
Yeah, but you realise the problem with that though.
What?
It's like what you're effectively saying is that it's okay to make those things, you just mustn't bow down to them.
No, he didn't say that it's okay to make them.
Yeah, but that's what you're in.
He says thou shalt not He says thou shalt not have no other gods before me.
That's the first.
The one at the top here. That rule out if you don't supposed to have no other God before me. But you gotta tell you the intricacy of how some people went astray and make God. Got to get detail now schooling. Don't do those things in those era either.
No, but then that would be part of the first commandment. But this one is the second commandment.
Yeah, it's the second commandment. So the second commandment is thou shalt not have no other God beside me.
That's
so you know that there's only one God.
Yeah.
It's talking about the status of oneness. No, next time, no, it's talking about your duty to God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
what you not allowed to do, like make graven image of God. So because you can come in contact with with created things. Human can engrave things. Human can make similes. So because that's feasible for you, God says, even though that's feasible for you, do not make likeness of these things and put them to me and bow down to them. Because by fifth we know, semicolon 4, fifth we know that that's the purpose why God is telling you about this above.
Yeah, but you realize that when God told the children of Israel, when they went into the land, they should destroy all the images. So how do you know they bow down to all of the images? So why would God tell them to destroy all of them?
I said about it, God is giving, so they can give a warning before a person. I said beware, bad dog inside, don't come inside, before the person don't even go inside yet.
Yeah, but you told them to destroy all the images. You didn't tell them which ones they bow down to, did you? You just said all of them.
Yeah, but I'm saying to before all of that blunder. That's before. So God showed all the system. God give them the order and they still breach it. That's how I'm sure that's the thing. But this order is the first and second commandment. These order come long before that. Before they make the mistake, innit?
Yeah.
Yes. But even though there was an initial mistake with the calf though, innit? Before Moses get this ruling though. You know the calf?
No, the calf came after this.
Oh, the calf was before.
No, it's after.
No, the calf was just when they just went. Listen, the calf went when they just get escaped from Pharaoh.
No. It's 30,
no, the calf.
It's chapter 32 is the calf. This is 20.
You think this is chronological order? The calf came right after, before Moses go pick up the tablet.
Yeah, but remember the Quran is just a summary. So
but Moses get this law. I'm saying to even say Moses get the law after the incident with the calf. The calf is earlier.
No, but you see, this is the real thing because it's got the full thing, but the Quran is just a summary. So you probably switched it around.
And I switch around. I'm saying the calf always switch around. With Quran has been tampered, but it's tampered with, so it's more switch. I'm saying to you, the calf.
You said the Quran was tampered.
Quran never tampered, but this is tampered, so it's more likely to be switched.
So you're saying the one with the detail is tampered with, but the one which is just a summary isn't.
So detail make something correct?
Yeah, because it takes more effort to put detail in, isn't it?
But who's putting the detail in? A bunch of anonymous man?
Right, so you're basically saying Jesus
Jesus didn't put detail in this.
No, but he read it.
He read it. What did he read?
Yeah, when he went to the synagogue.
He read English? He read this?
No, it's in Hebrew.
What does he read?
The scrolls which are in Hebrew.
So this tamper document telling that Jesus read it. Oh, you know it's true that he's telling the truth. This tamper document telling that Jesus read it. Oh, you know he's telling the truth.
No, but you're the one saying it's tamper.
Maybe it's a historical lie. Remember, you agree that there's a historical lie in there as well.
Yeah, but his.
Now everything there in God, you don't know where God's word is and where God's word is not.
Right, but the thing.
Only someone can take a face for it when it says here is the law of God, is when we can say it's that God's word because it sounds sound.
Right. But
well, like little stuff like Jesus with and stuff that they could be lying.
Yeah, no, okay.
The Bible tells me to lie on Jesus, you know.
Alright, you're saying it's tampered with. So
the Bible says it's tampered with.
No. So was it tampered with at the source?
You didn't have a source.
Yeah, there's a source for the Bible.
What source?
That's why you've got it. What, you're saying someone made it up?
It didn't have a source.
So
about the Old Testament, when they lose all the stuff, I tell you about the Dead Sea Scroll, they find and they champion it. But I tell you about the problem with that. And when they lose all this, when they lose most of the stuff, yes, they try to repeat the Torah because the ancient Hebrew was a died out language. They have to use the Arabic dictionary to help them because they are sister language and some words are similar. You didn't know in the 9th century they used the Arabic dictionary and the Arabic thing there, linguistic, to help them to try and repair a Torah. You didn't know this.
Right.
They were using to the sister language because something else is similar. Like Uwa in Arabic, Uwa mean the same thing in Hebrew. Something else still similar. So they have to turn to the similar sister language. And most of the people want to bash Ishmael and bash the Arab. They have the Bible commentary, they leave it to us course. The Deuteronomy is source. It's all guesswork.
Right, but
all these sources come together. And when they didn't have a raw material working with, and they're guessing what is the Torah now.
Okay, so when do you say this happened?
Yes? What is the Torah now?
No, but when did it happen?
They didn't have the writing there.
Yeah, but what?
Because they lost it. They lose the writing. If it was in ancient Hebrew, then they lose it. Because ancient Hebrew, one point, was a died-out language. They have to repair back the language. They have to try and repair back the language. Try. So you don't know if they 100% repair, and they have to have the Arabic language, the sister language, to help them with many things. 9th century Arabic dictionary they were using.
Right. So basically, you say there was no God that's helping them. They just made it all up.
They themselves say it's guesswork. Hypotheses. They form a source, a Torah by they have so four sources. Deuteronomy source. They leave it to the source. I wish I had the source again. I forgot. They form a Torah by hypotheses.
Right. And when did they put it?
Coming from a scripture that was in a language that's died out. But they lose most of the last most of the stuff. If you want to get to the New Testament now, New Testament, like I said, every single English New Testament we have right here has been extracted from 8 or 10 Greco-Roman manuscript.
Right.
This Greco-Roman manuscript here, what does Graham Stanton, one of the monster scholars about the New Testament says? He's one of the monster amongst them. All the scholars come after, they have to look up to him and respect to that name. Graham Stanton. What does he say? He says, unlike most Greco-Roman writing, the four gospel that people familiarize to the Bible is Matthew, Mark, and John. He jammed the bomb on, he jammed the bombshell on them. He says, the gospel they're familiar by Matthew, Mark, and John. He says, before the 2nd century, these are all anonymous writing. This name is not on it. These names were only added in the 2nd century, but have convenient pseudo name.
Yeah.
Can't have something to refer to.
He said 2nd century?
Yes, he says Graham Stanton, this name added in the 2nd century. And Graham Stanton says, who added the name? Graham Stanton says, it's also anonymous. We don't even know who added the name.
So all this thing about the Torah having to be repaired, when did that happen?
I'm talking about New Testament there now. I just tell you about this Torah. The Torah come from hypotheses. No wonder we say all that problem in it.
But you didn't say what year that was.
We don't remember the exact year, but I could check. We don't remember the exact. I don't remember the exact. But I know it's couple sources come together.
It sounds like
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what's going on. You know what's going on.
It sounds dodgy if you can't remember.
But you know they lost the language has been nearly died out that the Torah that the alleged Torah came to Moses in ancient Hebrew. You know, it's no secret. You know that. Everyone know that. Very few people discuss me that. You know that's died out language.
Yeah, but do you know where they actually got the text for the Old Testament from? And
the next big deception that they do as well, people say, okay, then I say, what language you speak? You speak Aramaic. Then people said, okay, then they find the gospel, yeah? It's your phone, sorry.
Yeah.
They find they said to me, I said they didn't find no gospel in Aramaic. Somebody said they find gospel in Aramaic. I said, what did they do? What they did there? It's all those other manuscripts what they did. They reverse back way, use the manuscript that they find to make an Aramaic, to try to make an Aramaic translation. But they didn't find out in Aramaic, and this is many Christians walking today, they don't know this.
Yeah, but you know what you said about the Torah?
It's hypothesis, I'm telling you.
No, but why didn't you say the real way and how they got most of the text from?
Or they get most of the text from?
No, it's from...
Can they lose most of it?
No, it's from... You had to use the Greek Septuagint.
Septuagint? But then you go into Greek for the Hebrew text. Can you think about what you're saying?
Yeah, but then...
You go to the Greek for the ancient Hebrew text. Think about what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's still an ancient... It's not something which came about like in the 19th century, is it? William Tyndale
come from some Septuagint. He take from also... he was taken from the Catholic Church now. The Catholic Church here, then it's just like maybe they twist certain stuff in their understanding. But William Tyndale know the same source the Catholic Church were taking stuff from. The Catholic Church know the source before him. They know all those sources. They were just restricting that source to you. They know them source already.
But here's the thing, you're very knowledgeable about that. But here's the question. You know Uthman, when he assembled the Quran, and he sent the copies out to the different regions, yeah, where are those Qurans?
What?
you know, when Uthman, he put together a standardized Quran, and then he made copies of it, and sent those copies out to the different regions. Where are they?
We have this Quran. We have 5 Quran. We have 5 Quran in 5 museums across the world. You can go and touch them. I don't remember, one in Russia, one in there. One of them actually there with Uthman name on it as well too.
Where's that?
5 here. One is Eastern or 30. I don't remember the place, but 5 museums.
No, you probably mean the one in Turkey. What's it called?
Yeah, one in Russia as well. And I think there's 3 more other places. I can't remember.
But someone was trying to say that the one in Turkey was the Uthman one, but when I looked it up, they said it wasn't. So do you know which one is the one that's supposed to be the Uthman?
Otherwise, you got the Uthman script in it. You will tell
Yeah, but which?
But that script never died because the script come down to all the way to us.
Yeah,
but 5th Caliph, why you just moved the dots and stuff like that. But it's the same writing still.
No. But which museum do you say that the Uthman one is in?
I don't remember, but I know like it's in 5 museums.
See, this is the thing. So if it was that convincing, you jump up straight away.
It's convincing because it's
immediately tell me, wouldn't you?
Get my phone. I know it's 5 museums across the world. I know. One in Russia. I'm telling you, one in Russia, one in Turkey, I think.
Yeah, but the Turkey one's not Uthman, because I looked it up. It's actually.
Yeah, but I was talking overall the manuscript of Quran. We have 5 manuscripts in 5 museums across the world.
Yeah, but I want one.
Apart from certain fragments I find in other places. So in other places, the Uthman Quran in other places, obviously, for sure.
Yeah, but the thing is, I remember saying they said something about Uthman one, but wasn't it incomplete? Or it's not a complete Quran.
No, it's not incomplete. It's not incomplete. Quran is not incomplete.
No, the Uthman one is not.
Quran is never incomplete.
So you're saying that there's a complete Uthman Quran? Can you tell me which?
Quran is never incomplete.
No,
Quran is something, yeah. Quran is something that Muslim, yeah. For the time of its inception, yeah. It is something that dealing with the life of the people. It's dealing with the real issue on the ground. It's talking about, it's one of the verses that talk about the dog that long got the trouble amongst them. It's a question about the hypocrite that come to Prophet Muhammad. It's talk about people the woman that come to you complaining. It's dealing with the people with the issue on the ground. It's solving problem. It's dealing with the real issue on the ground. Yes, the Quran also know, Allah says you have to pray 5 times a day. So therefore they know, when you pray you recite verses from the Quran. From the time of Prophet Muhammad we have the Ramadan there. Every Ramadan the Quran have to finish. You have some component which is office of Quran now. They take like 2 days to finish, like Ibn Masud, I think. He's finished Quran in 2 days, then repeat the cycle again. So this what I'm saying to you, this unbreakable practice of something where you have to pray every day, 5 times a day you have to recite it in your prayer. You have to be every day teaching going on some part of the world. From 7th century until now, teacher and student, because the emphasis and the credit and the reward that you get from teachers and students learning Quran is such an incentive that's so big that you have the system all from 7th century till now. Unbreakable system in something which is practical that people live in. Quran is something which it says learn 10, the companies we should learn 10 verses of Quran, or we should actually go out and implement. So the Quran have word of dictation where it implements the action for you.
Right, but
so it says that we used to read Quran 10 verses and then we used to actually go in our life and implement it.
Okay,
so Prophet Muhammad was known as the living Quran. He was living it. His life, you could look at him and you see the Quran verses pop out.
Right, but
so I'm saying to you, when you look at the sky and you see the birds open wings and spread wings, a Quran verse come to mind just like that by seeing it. That's real issue that caliber with the Quran verse is compatible. So the Quran is a thing that they will real issue on the ground. No, that real issue on the ground. They will real issue on the ground, rules and law for people, and also you still have to recite those rules and law in your prayer 5 times a day. Every month, annually in Ramadan, you have to repeat the full whole Quran, and the practice has been unbreakable. Teaching and learning system unbreakable. Until now, from then until now, that's the teacher, their teacher, they know their teacher, and they could point it to their teacher, and they could point it go back to Prophet Muhammad, peace on him, to the companion and the one who met Prophet Muhammad with him.
Right.
No, this unbreakable thing of something where you're constantly repeating like that. Every day. Like that. It's impossible for you to forget it. Because there was a time when you stop reciting it. When I'm gonna go pray, I have to recite some Quran now. For my 5 daily prayer. But did it just start like this now? Every single practice in Muslim, from 7th century to now, you always have practiced Muslim, that's how I've always been praying. But when you pray, you have to recite the Quran. From the time when Ramadan start there, from time when Ramadan here, in time of Prophet Muhammad, peace on him, and we have Ramadan every annual after that. Is there another month where the Ramadan now come with the Muslims don't fast and they try to recite the whole Quran in the mosque? No, there's never one. They always. So this is unbreakable practice of a scripture and God. So we didn't need a written format to preserve the Quran.
So you're just describing how the Bible was preserved as well then?
No, I'm just saying the Bible.
Yeah,
The Bible
is that what you
it's not the
just
same.
said there? It's the same
It's not the
with the
same.
Bible.
Why is that the same?
Why not?
When I said to you, the Quran have an unbreakable thing there, unbreakable of something that's practically people like that they have to be saying and reciting every day, as well as living.
That's what
But look at the
Christians
difference now.
say.
The difference now with the Bible now.
Okay.
The Bible scholars consensus tell you this. When Bart Ehrman was debating James White, who was speaking on the other side and defending it, he couldn't challenge that point. There's a 20-year gap between Jesus and the first writing about it. Now we don't know what happened within that 20-year gap. That's a break in the chain. That's a break in the chain.
What's that?
The Bible says there's a 20-year gap between Jesus and the first writing.
Yeah, well,
That we don't know what happened with that 20-year gap. Is that a break in the chain?
Yeah, but there's a.
Is that a break in the chain? 20-year break in the chain. We don't have that. We don't have that break in the chain.
Yeah, you do.
We have-
It's between your prophet and Bukhari, isn't it? Al-Bukhari.
Are we talking about Quran here, don't it?
Yeah, but here's the thing. How you know when you pray?
We're talking about Quran here now.
Yeah, no, but when you
We're talking
pray,
about Bible. Christians tell me the Bible is the word of God. We say the Quran is the word of God. That's why we're talking about that.
that's fine.
As I've said to you, when we pray, we recite verse. We don't recite. When we pray, we don't recite hadith. We recite verse from Quran.
How do you know? How do you know what sequence?
I just
to
tell
do?
you about the preservation thing there. I just tell you it's impossible for that to change because something for one, I've ruling, not just empty male ruling. You tell you don't say one word of disrespect to your parents. You tell you about people who have parents. I'm saying to you, I'm just giving you an example. You tell about stuff, it's not just a real issue. You tell about this verse revealed to addressing the woman that come to you, complaining. So God revealed verse to answer the woman about marital issue. People can tell me married from never since until then till now. So it's the real issue on the ground. Now that's the real issue. It's giving you so many rules and do's and don'ts that people have to obey. Don't say I'm going to do such a thing tomorrow without say inshallah. So if a Muslim from no one, or if he says tomorrow, you say inshallah. That practice never started now. The practice go back from 7th century till now.
Right.
No, also, while you have to obey those orders and manifest in his action and further statement, he also have to pray. When he pray, he also reciting what the ruling and the outward linguistic what the ruling says, the wording, he recite the wording again while he's praying.
Okay, so
What I'm saying that from the time in 7th century when the prayer has been allowed to pray, it has been practiced. Muslim has been praying in congregation.
okay, so how can someone confirm?
Then you have from then you also have memories of Quran from then until now.
Right.
Yes, because of the teaching, the unbreakable chain of teaching. Those memories are teaching students to memorize, and every day you have a class going on.
Yeah.
I'm speaking right now some other part of the world which is the day someone teaching a madrasa in Kunduz in Afghanistan. So this ongoing practice, repeatedly unbreakable with no train. Every teacher is Quran teacher and student, they can point back to their teacher. Their teacher can say, well, that person was my teacher, that person was my teacher, he was alive in such and such age, that was my teacher, and he can go back to a companion, and companion say, oh, that was my teacher, and companion say, okay, that person, they come back to the third generation, then they go to the other generation after the companion generation, and they can say, well, that's my teacher. They can point to their teacher from the companion, and the companion can say, well, but we was with the prophet, we learned it from the prophet.
Right. So, but if someone wanted to confirm that they were praying properly and that they're doing the actions right and then doing the recitation of the Quran in the right sequence, how would they go to find documentation to know that that is correct?
It have to be that they were doing the right sequence because what was dictated upon them, it was an ongoing action and recital that you can't break from. It's impossible to break from it. Because you have to pray for it, you have to be reciting.
Okay, but then what if someone decides to inject some deception? You need some way of making sure that they're not trying to trick you, isn't it?
Or they're gonna inject deception when the verse revealed the prophet, the Quran was complete when the prophet was alive. Allah compile the Quran and the art of the prophet first, and then also extend it to some company like Zayn bin Thabit, Zayn and Ibn Masud. You have memorizers who memorized by Quran, but not only that memorizer, they were memorizers and sitting stagnant. They were memorized and they were utilizing teaching, and you have to pray out only the prayer. Ramadan they have to recite the whole Quran. Every year annually, you have a month of Ramadan. Those who memorize have to be leading the prayer and saying the whole Quran.
Yeah, but that.
And every day every single day, 5 times you have to pray reciting the Quran again. So I'm saying to you, and plus he also, the Quran is also something that dictates the person's action, do's and don'ts. You have to be living it the same way.
Right, but
The rules and Islam, and the whole country was governed by it. The rules and the laws, so it have to apply in that term. So, and plus these man memorize that we have to recite every day. How could you, how you gonna forget it when you have to be saying it every day? You know, I say I'm from London. I keep saying it like you're crazy. Tell children, never stop saying it. That means because of the ongoing state of saying it, that means you don't forget it. Because you never stop saying it. You see what I'm saying? It's impossible.
right.
And then if you can prove the narrative, the teachers and the student, and you can prove an unbreakable chain of teachers and students, where you could trace back to that generation, every single generation ahead, where that generation met their teacher, the teacher met the other teacher, they met them in person, and the other one met the other teacher in person, and you can go back to the third generation, after Prophet the second generation, who the teacher for them is the first generation of the companion. They will show for sure the companion met Prophet Muhammad.
Well, anyway, by the way, I found your Usman Quran. It says the parchment manuscript is now held in the library of Tel Ashak Mosque in the old Hash Imam area of Tashkent, close to the grave of Kafar Shashi, a 10th century Islamic scholar. A folio containing a page from
What source is this?
Wikipedia. It says a folio containing a page from the Surah Al-Anbiya is held at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City.
As well,
it says the manuscript is incomplete. It begins in the middle of verse 7 of the second surah and ends at Surah 43, ayah 10. The manuscript has between 8 and 12 lines to the page, and showing its antiquity, the text is devoid of vocalization. So it looks like you don't have a full Uthman Quran, unless you can find another.
There we go again. You're missing the part again. What is the Quran? What is the Quran? You know what is the Quran?
Yeah, it's 114.
What is the Quran? It's a recital. I keep telling them, but I don't know why the Christians don't learn when we tell them nothing. The Quran doesn't need a document writing for you to preserve.
Yeah, but
because what? There's never a time, unlike the Jews and whatsoever, that becomes static and stop practice. There's never a time where you have people stop practice on a large scale.
Right, okay.
So and what they're practicing, they practice something that they're repeating constantly every day. Every day there's a Quran class gone. From 7th century till now, every day there's a Quran class goes on with teacher and student. With a teacher that memorizes it by heart. And he can talk about his teacher that memorized, he can talk about them and he can talk about them. And this memorizer, he didn't memorize something that it should just be like a souvenir with. It's not. It's something that he have to act upon. That's what the verse says. Read it, understand it, memorize it, and act upon its principle and order. And the Quran also says you should repeat its recital. So Allah give you the formula for it. I'm gonna make you repeat this recital so that you will never forget. Allah will actually tell you the formula in it.
Right. So, but the thing about it is, in how many ways was the Quran revealed?
Yeah.
How many ways was it revealed?
I'm saying that there in book format right there. Some people learn better by getting something right. Me, because I used to be a songwriter, I learn better. I can educate them something. I can listen something by heart and I remember it and I can repeat it. Yes. Some people learn better by seeing something on a paper. It helps with teaching some other people. Depends on the capability. But I'm saying to you, we don't have to. That's what the scholar says. That's what Islamic scholar says. And they could make that statement from 7th century when the Quran is complete. And compile on the art of Prophet, not a paper and a pen. He compile on his art.
Here's the interesting thing though. This original Quran that Uthman put together, it didn't have the marks in it.
All the Uthman put together. That's very important. All the Uthman put it together.
Well, he collected all the other versions of manuscripts and got the people who could recite it as well.
Where did he collect it from?
Well, from various people.
Where?
Well, I suppose
the Quran was compiled before Uthman. The first caliph was.
It's collected, but Uthman had to standardize it.
What means standardize? Why did he standardize?
Well, because the people in Sham and Iraq, they were disputing about the verses, and they were always coming to blows.
What did they don't dispute them about verses? The people themselves who was having a dispute, they're ignorant themselves.
Yeah, so
can you say one thing? They're ignorant about the point. So, why Christians don't tell them what we try to say in this? They're ignorant about the point.
Yes.
Yes. About the different ways of recital. Because those individual, and today you have Muslims still do it. You see you reciting, but you don't know all the way that was approved from Allah to Jibril to teach the Prophet all those 7 different ways of reciting. So Allah relate into the people who represent the tongue. Like for me from Jamaica, I have a problem pronouncing the H. So in the Quran there is a dialect that will go well with me. Allah relenting out of mercy to the people. Allah sent Jibril to come and teach him. We have the same incident with the second caliph and another companion. The second caliph here companion was reciting, was praying, and he was reciting. And he says when he finished, no, he didn't let him finish first. Because he have etiquette, he let him finish first, and then he grabbed him. He says, what is this? Second caliph was, you think of the second caliph didn't know that was Quran? And then he bring to the Prophet. The Prophet says, he says, you recite. And he says, you recite. And then he corrected Omar. He says, Omar, did you not know that Jibril came to me and he teach me all these things? He said, you are correct and he is also correct. He teach me all these different ways of reciting.
But you realize what you just done?
No, I'm saying to you, I'm saying, what I just done. I'm saying if it approved from the revelation source, well, I agree with that. I know you don't agree, but I'm saying it approved from the source that gave him the revelation that Jibril came and teach him all those ways, approve of all those different ways. No, what happened now, when we get back to Uthman time now,
he destroyed all those ways.
No, listen, I'm going to give you the background. When we get back to Uthman time, Uthman know about the 7 different things. Because he wasn't ignorant, he know about it. But then people, they themselves were writing their own Quran out with their hand. Like if today when children go Quran class here, when they go Quran class, they write it on board and they write it back out in their own book. Yes.
That's what you're
But when my children write it back in their own book and come home and try to reverse it because what the teacher write on the board. What my children write in their own book as they copy after Quran what the teacher write on the board, yeah? That's not the blueprint. Is it the blueprint that was in the house of the wife of the Prophet that was already compiled in one thing there?
But it didn't have the marks on it, did it?
Eh?
It didn't have the diacritical marks.
But did they not recite it? Did they couldn't recite it?
Yeah, but that means that when they recited it, they could vary the sounds, couldn't they? If those marks aren't there.
So they couldn't read it without that? They could recite it without that?
No, but they could vary the sounds, couldn't they, without those marks?
I mean, they couldn't vary.
No, because those marks are there to make the pronunciation specific.
If it's audio, would you need the mark? You see, you still go back in written format. Before you go down into a book format, and the Quran was recited to the Prophet hear it, he hears it, and he says it back to them. Can you see the mark in his mouth coming out?
Yeah, but no, it's
Can you see the mark in his mouth coming out?
No.
Can you see the grammar? Do you need the grammar then?
Yeah, but notice it didn't work though, did it? Because they had that dispute in Sham.
What have the dispute? Dispute is not about marking.
No, but
this is about ignorant people didn't know that there's different dialogue that is approved by the authority source. Today I still have it. Somebody in my research that says, because I say, Walam yakul lahu kufuwan. I say no, say Walam yakun. But you don't know that yakun and yakul both is acceptable, both is fit into a dialogue that was approved by the source that teaches the messenger, which is from the angel coming from God himself.
But then wouldn't only one of them be right if you go by the marks?
One of them can be right if God himself approve and say all of them is acceptable. Anyone you can do.
No, but I mean
how come one of them right?
No, but I mean the marks which are in the Quran.
I'm talking about the dialect teach when there's no mark not needed. All the dialect teach when there's no mark needed. There's no mark there. I'm talking about the time of Prophet Muhammad on him. He's still there. He there and he's teaching. He there. He get the teaching of all the 7 different ways of recital. Remember at the time of Prophet Muhammad, there's no book. There's none. Abu Bakr says when Omar came to him and says, all the office the memorizer. What this Omar says? Memorizer of Quran. They died out in the back of the veil. He didn't say all of them. He give a warning. Not all of them didn't die out, but he says we don't want to lose all of them in that way. So he give a preventive method. Abu Bakr says, what Omar says, the office, the memorizer of Quran. We have a couple memorizer there. And we will have a potential to have more because the teaching system that never stops. Every day people learn and teaching. Because the emphasis about the teaching. We wouldn't go to the masjid and learn a verse. He put strong emphasis on them going to keep learning and memorizing. Allah says, I'm going to make you keep repeating the recital so you never forget. Prophet used to repeat it so often, the companions used to follow him and repeat so often. Ibn Masud used to finish the Quran every 2 days and start back on the 3rd day, that's his first day after the 2 days again, he just repeat the cycle. He lived his life like that till he died.
You said Ibn Masud was it?
Ibn Masud, I don't remember which one if it's Ibn Masud.
But isn't he the one that has a different Quran then?
There's no different Quran.
No, he's the one with a different number of surahs.
I'm just saying to you, that's what I'm saying to you. Ibn Masud, is the Quran is in there. Ibn Masud didn't have a different Quran.
No, but the surah number was different.
Ibn Masud didn't have a different Quran. Ibn Masud know the other 3 kuls, but Ibn Masud, he didn't mix them in his, when he write down something, he didn't mix them in his writing, because I think he didn't need to mix them, but he knows it. He heard the Prophet recite it in prayer. He prays behind the Prophet while the Prophet reciting those kuls in prayer. If he heard the Prophet reciting those kuls in prayer, why didn't he put it in his text? Because he separated them, because I think they were just for us, like because those verses like seeking refuge, and it's a protection for you from evil spirit and everything.
Right.
Those 3 cool. So I think because maybe he categorized and he cannot put it in a different thing there. But it doesn't mean he did not know it's not Quran. He knows it's Quran. Because he knows that when you pray, Ibn Masud know that you recite Quran. Ibn Masud, he prayed by the Prophet and the Prophet recite the whole Quran, including those 3 kuls. He knows the Prophet recite those 3 kuls. So he's not naive about it. But in his own personal thing, if he want him, when he in the writing format, when he pray, he also recite them as well. Yes, so because when he's want to protect himself from evil spirit and this thing, and you have to blow in his hand before you go to bed, you have to recite those 3 kuls.
So do Muslims recite that now?
Yeah, Muslims recite it. See petition night when they sleep, you rub yourself, and you rub yourself up.
But where are those, the 3 kuls you're talking about, where are those noted down?
I'm saying to you, even though if Tina never mentioned it, he knows it's Quran, but even though if he didn't mention it in there, when he put in the format, in the writing format, because remember I said to you, when the Quran was in writing format, then that means that none of it didn't mention then. But the Quran was still there. The Quran was compiled onto the art of performance before no writing format.
Well, no, apparently it was written on some things, because Tabit used to write, Zayd bin Tabit used to write some things.
Yes, you're right, sorry, yes, you're right. So even though, the Quran said Zayd bin Tabit to get the ink pad and the pen come.
Yeah.
And it's write on different, because obviously there's no paper, nothing like that. And camel shoulder blade, palm tree fiber, different things that you have, papyrus and stuff like that. So you used to write on those things. Prophet used to come out, when the revision used to recite and tell him to write. Even though the Prophet himself, he cannot read and cannot write. But even that person cannot read and write, that's an obstacle to you, to me for you telling me, if I can't read and write, are you telling me, say this after me, and I'm saying, say so. I can echo it back because I hear it. I grew up in society, I know the language you're using. So I can echo back the words that you want me to echo back. It doesn't matter that me cannot read and write doesn't prevent me from echoing back what you want me to echo.
Right.
So therefore then he still Zayd bin Tabit, when I recite, then you write after me. And after you write, read back your right and your paper. When you read back, if the person who can write, read back what they write, even though the one who was recited first cannot write, which is Prophet some peace upon him. But because he knows what he recited to him, when he write it down, those who can write very well, and when he recite it back, he will know, because I just recite that to you, he will know that he recite back the same thing back to me. You recite to me, I'm writing. You say recite back to me what I just tell you. So I tell you back, I'm from London. You know that you just tell me the same thing that I'm from London. You know, because it's just a short span behind each other. So that's the way, and all those stuff. No, all those stuff was compiled in the house of Hafsa, I think, one of the Prophet's wife.
Well, he gave, after he compiled it, he gave a copy back to Hafsa,
Yeah.
Because he used Hafsa's
I'm talking about Abu Bakr after.
That was before.
So even the Quran was compiled in the art of Prophet.
Given to Hafsa. Yeah, Hafsa.
Quran was compiled in the art of Prophet. Yes. Because when he was reading about in Ramadan, when he was leading in prayer and he was reciting the whole Quran, Prophet, he didn't have to hold back the book in his hand. Prophet was reading from it, off his dome, straight, off his heart, straight. That means he memorized the whole Quran and he had finished Ramadan. The practice has been there until now, unbreakable practice. No, I'm saying so what Abu Bakr Siddiq done? Because Omar says memorize of Quran. That tell you something that there actually was a system going on that people were actually memorizing. That actually even tell you that's actually prove it himself. So the Prophet Abu Bakr, because he care about following the Prophet's footstep so much, he says I fear to do something that the Prophet did not do. Yes, but obviously I think he put up, I give some time between it. But if he gives some time between it, when he come back again, and he choose to do it, we did not know if he had a dream or we do something called istikara, which is the Prophet also teach it.
I think
The Prophet teach that time will come, the believer dream will come true. I mean, after when he leave, we talk about prophesies about this. The believer will dream thing and it will come true like he dreamed it.
Okay.
The Prophet also teaches that you can seek Allah counsel in a matter. If you decide, none of you decided up to a matter. So if Abu Bakr decided, said, no, I'm deciding to take my advice, he did have to do istikara because the Prophet teach him that. Let none of you decide upon a matter, but let him do his wudu and pray to Raqqa, seeking Allah's counsel, istikara. And you get the answer, that which you decided to do, I said, you only should do the istikara after you decided. You must not be when you're confused and you don't know which direction to go. You have to choose a direction first. So you decide upon a direction where to go, and you seek Allah's counsel upon that direction.
Yeah.
I said, Allah, if this is what I decided to do, if it's good for me, then give it to me. If it's bad for me, you keep it distant away from me. That's the way you have to say the istikara. So say, for example, Abu Bakr decided to say, I'm going to take all my advice. Good advice, I'm going to take it. But I'm scared to do something the Prophet never did, but I'm going to take that advice. It sounds good, I'm going to take this advice to compile the Quran in that format here. Yes? From this, I'm going to get back this office of Quran. We repeat the Quran, we know the Quran by heart and repeat it every day, living it anyway, repeat it every day, saying the prayer. I'm going to get them together and then tell them to recite and write it out. Yes? No. So the thing is, no. I write it. I'm gonna get there to this Quran, this thing here. I'm gonna collect what I can collect what is already written and the prior fee for this thing here. Cause keep that prior, just remember that. Because he collect whatever he can, get the office of Quran at the same time to verify if it's true. So you have so much tool working against him. You have what the Prophet was Zayd bin Thabit and me, right? You get those, then also get the office of Quran. Ibn Masud, Zayd bin Thabit was also office of Quran. No? Not that he was only writing, was also office at the same time, you know. Let's not forget that. So you get them, let's reaffirm if this thing is true. Yes? Then put it on the one in that collection of it here, in that one in that one Quran volume here of and different fibers and stuff like that. No, I'm saying if Abu Bakr decided to go along and do that, what he will do, he would have go away, which is called istikara, which is some teaching that they have to do it. He would have go away, and because he decided, I said that this thing I decided to compile this thing, the Quran in this way, is if it's bad for me, if it's good for me, give it to me. If it's bad for me, he's praying to God, he will seek God counsel. If it's good, if it's bad for me, keep me distant away from it. Now the sign that he will get now is that thing which he decided to do, he will find the sign is based upon ease. God will make it easy for him, like every evidence will burst out for him to go ahead after. God will make it easy for him to see it after, with some things will happen after, like he will see it easy, or if you try forward to do it, it will happen so easy we'll achieve. Like somebody has come, someone is saying it. Yeah, but anything that geared towards the same subject, he will see it. God will give him sign, maybe through someone has come or other people, whatever it is, but towards the same thing that he decided to. And then he will know. But if you have difficulty, like something has come up as a difficulty, then because of the difficulty is an answer from God, that you shouldn't go ahead with it.
Yeah, but notice you're saying that about Abu Bakr, but notice how Uthman was more brutal though.
I'm saying to you before we get to that.
Alright. So
Abu Bakr, that's a full compiled Quran right there. Office of Quran, what he collected, people who know the Quran by heart. Yes. Ibn Masud, Zayd bin Thabit, all them, they know Qur'an, they know all of them by heart. They know them. So we make a full compiled Quran there.
Yeah.
Now we move forward now to Uthman, for example. Yeah. Move forward to,
well, that was the next incident for me.
yeah. So people out there now, teachers and students mostly. Like I said, people writing on their own Quran. People know the several different some people might know, some might not know. Like at the time when Omar didn't know, but now he knows. So Omar will never put up somebody again when they hear the reciting in that way, because he knows it's approved by the higher source. So, but still some other people out there who don't know, because Muslim population is growing. stretch over to Syria and all over.
But anyway, it wasn't long before Uthman was stabbed, though, was it? Sorry, Umar was stabbed. Did he last that long, though?
No, I don't think he lost that.
No.
No, Omar lived till 63. Same thing.
But how many years was he caliph?
They live the same age as the Prophet now. Prophet died at 63, Abu Bakr died at 63, Omar died at 63. It's some miracle. Same age they died. The thing is, yeah, so Uthman now, people, same roof coming up, like what happened in time. Uthman know all about that story, I know about that experience. People, Uthman know, despite the different dialect, but Uthman say, okay then, save all of that. Yeah? Doesn't mean that what they're saying is wrong. Is that Uthman saying, okay then?
But it sounded different.
People out there writing their own stuff. Brother, you write your poem, you have your blueprint. People see a story and they start writing and they write in different language and start changing the thing out there. You can say, okay then no, listen, I have the blueprint. Doesn't matter what they have, whether they right or the wrong, physical argument, whether they right or the wrong, it's irrelevant. Because I am the poem writer, I have the blueprint. Nobody will ever challenge your blueprint, because you is the heart of it.
Aren't there multiple...
You understand the point I'm saying there? So when Uthman got to send for what was in the house of the Afsa with Abu Bakr in there, that's the blueprint there.
Yeah.
So when you send for the blueprint, Uthman is saying to them, whether wrong or right, get rid of all of that for safety method. We have the blueprint.
Well, they had to send them all to him, isn't it?
Yeah, but we have the blueprint, whether wrong or right. You're gonna argue over this thing, despite those with knowledge know that those different recital thing there it's sound. It's approve from my source. Those who have knowledge, they can use it, they have no problem. They can recite any one of them, no problem. But if the ignorant gonna argue that Uthman did something, Uthman says, whatever you write over there with yourself, whatever you have in the hand, just get rid of that. It doesn't mean that Uthman is telling them that they're wrong. They could actually get through that. They could actually write their own Quran over there. From the Quran, because students they write back stuff that they learn in their class and could write and get in 1 and 2 things right. But they could actually have things that they get right in. But Uthman said, either way, just get. Because I showed this is the right one in the Prophet's wife house. That makes more sense to me. He says, this is the blueprint, in other words. So it's no point. We don't really need that. We don't need to look into it and scrutinize, because take all the scrutinize you and say you saying this. Even Uthman himself, no Quran. Omar, no Quran. The officer of Quran, they know. Ibn Masud, they know Quran. Because they were there in that time, say, man. So get rid of what you have this. Just rid of irrelevant, whatever your argument is about. This is nobody gonna argue against the blueprint. Nobody will argue against blueprint. So after that, no. So what's Uthman do? Get rid of that there, because people understand that the Prophet actually teach that when you're gonna get rid of Quran writing, you actually burn it or bury it.
Right.
The Prophet himself teach it. So when Uthman did that, Uthman would actually follow the Prophet's order, or to get rid of Quranic writing and paper. So then when the Quran writing the Quran maybe, because paper deteriorate them, that's paper. Writing it all on a paper, because paper's the material I get all. When you ready?
Yeah.
Paper's the material I get all. Person teach that if any Quran writing everything, if you should put it away, dispose it. Do it by bury it in the ground or burn it. The person to give them that teaching. So because Uthman said, okay, you know, Uthman don't want other people to start to, if you leave them to destroy it, to get rid of it by themselves, some might not get rid of it, or they might disrespect the Quran in other ways that you should not. Uthman know those two ways the Prophet give them. You burn or you bury it. Uthman know that. So Uthman as a leader and an authority where the people listen to Uthman say, you bring them to me. Then he burn it in that way. He didn't need to look at it, because he have blueprint. Why do I look when I have the blueprint?
Right, but you know the current Quran you have, isn't it put together by this guy, what's his name? His name now.
So I'm saying, we're gonna get to the part. We know it. We're gonna get to the part. So Uthman said, put together. We have the blueprint here. We're gonna put this in the Prophet's primary dialect. I think come on first. Before Allah send the angel to teach him in the other extra dialect. The primary one. We're gonna put it now in the Kurdish dialect, with the Prophet the first language, right? Because since you're gonna bicker about argument stuff, it's not a problem there. You can recite in different dialect, but the ignorant Muslim out there, they still have the problem. And I'm saying today, even some Muslims still have the problem. I don't know, the brother, what you fighting, the brother can recite, the one who's leading the prayer can recite that way, because both of them is approved, is acceptable by the higher authority. So the Prophet says, Jibril, teach me those ways. It's fine. You correct and him is correct.
But you know, Adnan Rashid wouldn't be happy at you saying that.
Yeah, I don't know shit. So I'm saying to you now. So yes. So he burn all of the way because it's the way he's following instruction is the way, or if you want to dispose the thing that you do that way as well. So he's following that order, which is fine. And as an authority, as a ruler of people, he can do that. He can galvanize and he can put the information. He can get the blueprint out. He get the blueprint because he's a ruler. He get the blueprint out and say this is the blueprint. I'm sure of this, so that we don't have the problem. And then the people that accept, they agreed.
Yeah, well, he's a caliph, so they.
And it's caliph, but so the people gonna disagree with something the Prophet orders in then be tabby to write.
No.
And the people that really love the Prophet and the follow the Prophet, would they disagree with something that the Prophet himself ordered the man to write and approve of it?
Well, no, but
it's only a little troublemaker who don't know that background knowledge would disagree. Because like I said, the Muslim thing start grow, people start converting to the marks of Islam. So obviously you have people coming with lots of baggage from their background.
Yeah.
And some people with baggage they like tailorize something which is there to suit their desire because maybe their weakness.
But remember what the rebels did to Uthman, though?
Yes, and those were about some of those devious people who want to tailorize things. So Uthman says, I'd rather die before he circumvent to them. They'd have to kill him.
Yeah. Well.
You know, so I'm just saying, that was that, and the blueprint there. And even after the blueprint there, it doesn't mean those who have knowledge, who want to recite a different dialect, Uthman will never hear someone else reciting a different dialect than the Quraysh dialect. But long as it's approved that Uthman will never interrupt because Uthman have knowledge that